that played at Alabama or Auburn. And there is a kind of a consistent thread you talk to about stuff like that. They're like, when I was in high school, I was always the best player on my team. When I was in youth league, I was always the best player on my team. Like, there was nobody who was going to take my spot. I was the best player, right?
Roman was his quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went to college, and a lot of times at college, if you're not at an Alabama or a Georgia or a Texas or somewhere like that, you're going to be the best player on the team again. And then once you get to the NFL, there's plenty of guys that will take your spot if you're not willing to go work and keep being the best player.
I heard that question framed another way. Did you guys ever see the 30 and 30 broke?
Yeah, Billy Corrigan did it.
Billy Corrigan did it, but I saw a promo for it last night, and the question is asked to Michael Strahan. What is one rookie purchase you wish you could have got back that was the biggest waste of money? You know what his answer was?
What's that?
My ex-wife.
Wow.
So good.
Thanks, Strahan.
So good.
That's a good answer. Sean Payton, who raved about Bo Nix learning his system already at the Broncos OTAs over the weekend at the rookie camp, was asked about the new kickoff rule, and he says, we're going over it right now. I'm excited about it, says Sean Payton. Some people hate it. If you're not familiar, the NFL for 1 year, this upcoming year, in real games, they're going to use what was the XFL kickoff rule last year, and he says we're working with two backs that'll be back to receive. We're working with the mindset of shortstop, third baseman in mind, people that can field low, hard line drive and bouncing kicks, because we don't think anybody's going to kick high kicks. It's going to float down to you inside that zone. If it goes in the end zone, it's at the 20. If it goes out of bounds, you're at the 40. So people are going to try to kick it and get it into the end zone, or kick it to where it becomes a hard to handle, and maybe you're able to tackle inside the 20.
A lot more squibs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he says we're going over everything. We're watching every XFL kick they had last season when they used this rule. And he says we're going to have heavier blockers on the field than normally, because you're starting off where they don't have to run a lot to find somebody to block. It's almost like a scrimmage play for the blocking. So you may have some offensive linemen-like people out there. But he said the thing he's excited about is, we struggle to score offensively. Last year, there were 4 kickoff returns for touchdown in the leagues. He goes, it'll easily be double digits this year.
Oh, wow. I think we had that in a 4 downs question, and over-under on how many. So he thinks double-digit kick returns for a touchdown with this new setup.
Double-digit kick returns for a touchdown. It just is going to look weird that the NFL is doing that.
Yeah.
How long, since it's the elite of the elite, I don't know how long it'll take me to get used to it looking that way.
Right.
Because I miss the kickoff, even if it's a touchback. It just doesn't bother me so much.
What do you? So the
lineup of them lining up, with half the team all the way downfield like a scrimmage play, and the kicker back there by himself.
Weird.
I wonder 2 things. Number one, how many teams will put top end players to return if there is a minimized risk of injury? And
you heard the Bears talking about Justin Fields.
And
Steelers.
If Sean Payton is Steelers. If Sean Payton is correct that it's going to increase kick returns for a touchdown. I mean, if there are more opportunities, you got to think they'll put some top-of-the-line guys back there, especially if there's less risk of injury. But then number 2, once that starts happening, how many coaches are like, screw it, kick it through the end zone? Because every NFL team's got a kicker that kicks through the end zone.
I mean, are you kicking to Luther Burden III this year?
I would not.
Yeah.
I would kick. First, if I were a coach right now, I'd kick through the end zone every single time if I could.
Yeah.
Why even risk it?
What is keeping them from kicking it through the end zone?
I think they've tried to outsmart themselves and think we can get them inside the 25 if we directionally kick it and put some air under it.
Yeah, like Saban believed in kicking it high and landing right at the 1 or the goal line.
That's right. Make them field it, and we can keep them inside the 25. But now with this system right now in the NFL, everybody kicks it through the end zone. Why not just kick it through the end zone every time? Like
is there a rule where it comes out like to 35?
I can't remember on the new rule.
There's something to discourage that. I don't know what it is. All right. A lot of stuff in that show. Hope you enjoyed it. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget, we have a new Pennant Grace with E.G. and Josh. They'll be recording that as soon as we're done here. A mailbag of Uncorked is being prepared as we speak with Taylor Korn on our platform here. And our new meltdown at 2 o'clock Central Time today. Roll Tide Pods, War Damn Pods, like and subscribe everywhere you get us. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We talked about it yesterday, and Jared Goff got paid. We'll get into that contract. The next quarterbacks that's up in the NFL could be interesting. That's coming up on the big show today. Also, we'll talk about kick times, why we hate 11 o'clock games. That'll be a big topic in our next segment. We'll get to that coming up in segment number 2. And a lot of other great stuff for you lined up on the show today. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Rockstar hat turned around backwards. Rare hat and turned around backwards. I mean, you literally look 16, 17 months younger.
Months.
17 months.
Younger.
Sometimes the air, moisture in the air.
Dunaway's talking baby talk.
Can't get your hair to go right because basically you just screw it. I'm putting on a hat.
That's true. The Rockstar's old enough we can't talk in months when it comes to age.
Yeah.
Lance is right. That's all the
It
babies.
was a funny guy. I was
I'm
trying
sorry,
to be
Jim.
16, 17 years younger. No, 17 months.
Much younger.
Not much younger.
You look like a kid.
But I liked it. You're getting ready for a show. I like it. That's the way
Yeah.
the rock stars and the
I'm a
country
little
stars.
surprised, as casual as you are, that you don't wear more hats.
I'm starting to because when the sun's out, it's going to destroy me because I am BALD. And
Bald.
Brown got it. So when I'm out mowing the lawn, I have a hat mowing, mow the lawn hat that is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I have to, so it's just like even with sunscreen, I am done.
I got a couple of golf hats that are disgusting.
I mean, it's
absolutely
gross. There's just smell. You can smell it when you're sweating.
Oh,
God.
right.
Roback.com. He's got that hoodie on today. You can check that out. Roback.com. It's on the big screen behind us as well. Promo code TNR 20% off your purchase there. When you enter that, we appreciate that. Forrester's on the back road. Lunsford is on the back row. And Tyler is in export-import right now, getting out some great orders. He's somewhere shipping out great gear as the sale continues over at nextround.store. Nextround.store. We're down to Brown 30 is the promo code. Brown 30. You get 30% off any purchase right now in nextround.store. Not the golf card, though. Some limitations there, but a 30% off if you use the promo code Brown 30. Just a few of those left. And then we're to Brown 25 for 25% off. Today, tomorrow, and that'll probably be it. And at that point, we've got a draw where Brown will deliver a package out of these things that have been sold since Friday of where Brown will go to deliver his second place bracket punishment.
No.
I offered him the same deal you offered me earlier.
He did do that.
I was like, dude, we just tie a pot roast to your butt and you swim through the Gulf. And when we were down at the beach, LT kept coming up with something crazy for me to do instead of go hit 5 shots in a D1 arena.
So we were on the bay in that new cruiser that they've got at the Floribama, the new pontoon. I think it holds 22 people, and there was only like 7 of us on there. But our boy C. Stu was like, if you'll get them to stop and you'll swim to that dock and back, I'll give you $300. And I ran back there. I was like, will you stop? And I'm going to swim to the dock and back. They weren't like really, and when they finally stopped and they were ready to do it, I was going to swim over there. And all I was thinking about was bull sharks.
Well, why did you not?
Because C. Stu then was like, nah, forget it.
Yeah. Once you said you'd do it, he backed off. Huh?
Stu, come on, man.
We were behind where we were down in Destin Rockstar. There was one of those like murky water swamps where you don't know what's in it. And as soon as we walked across the bridge, he started in on him. I knew it was going to happen too. He was like, Dunaway?
I would even walk to my ankles.
Just go stand in there for 4
Dunaway,
minutes.
if you'll stand
That's
in
what I
there
told
30
him. I
minutes.
said, if you will tread water for like 2 or 3 minutes, we'll call it
Yeah,
even.
we'll call it even. I mean, it was dark and the water was dark. You got no clue what's in it.
How long would that 2 or 3 minutes seem?
Oh, it seemed like an
Forever.
eternity. Yeah.
When I do the cryotherapy,
Yeah.
that 3
Like-
minutes and
like 2
10
minutes.
seconds. Yeah. Oh, is that
It's 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm in there for 310.
They're trying to kill you.
Have you seen a doctor?
I'm old. It has to
No,
get to that
normally
leathery
it's
skin.
2 minutes, but yeah, that's that is freezing cold.
It is cold.
So what is the furthest he can go away? Like, have we decided on that?
Well, a day trip, because it's not just me. There are, I believe,
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 employees of the company that will be going with me, so we don't want to punish them. But a day trip is kind of the working definition there.
They have to drive to 5 D1 arenas with me. They don't want to. They like you. They got to go to the same ones that are going with me.
Well, I know.
Around the
I
arena,
hated to bring that up.
it'll be a blast with you. It'll be punishment for them when they go with me.
You're
Emily
gonna
Grace
eat well.
McWhorter's one of those guys, one of those people. She's host of the Pennant Grace. Her and Joshua, new episodes out. And they're doing a giveaway over on Twitter, so you can go follow the Pennant Grace on Twitter right now. There you see some of that new episode dropped recapping the Braves and Mets. Braves get the win last night over the Red Sox. They talk all Braves baseball and a little other baseball in the Pennant Grace. You can get that right now. New Meltdown coming up with Lunsford and Tim Melton at 2 o'clock today, 2 o'clock Central Time. Those guys every afternoon on this platform for you. And then a new Uncorked that Taylor Korn is working on. As we speak, mailbag there for Taylor. You can jump on there on this platform as well and enjoy all of the stuff that we have for you, including the Village Vice, Elephant in the Room, Roll, Tide Pods, War Damn Pods. All that is up and ready for you today. Taylor is in the social media area working on our 40 and 40, which yesterday, it is hard. I love it. I got it cut down from 30 hours of work to 10 hours of work yesterday, but I banged it out. I think I finished it just after 11, just before midnight last night. I have our 40 and 40 right here. We are not going to unveil it today, though.
Oh, you tease.
We start our 40th team tomorrow, and we'll count down all the way up to SEC Media Days. What I have learned is at some point that final week when we're doing 5 through 1, the top 5 teams in the country, that's when I'll be paying off my bracket punishment. So I will miss the best teams in the country, according to our voters. That'll be the week. They don't tell me the day, but that'll be the week. One of those days.
Well, you're only going to miss one of those days.
Maybe. If 5 arenas are open, we'll find out.
I think if you plan this the right way, I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll figure that out when we get there. But we start tomorrow, 40 teams in 40 shows, and then when we're done, it's SEC Media Days. This is in no indication on how the rankings ended up because we ended up with 94 guys. First, a shout out to Connor. We by no means, Connor, we're taking a shot at you for putting Mississippi State number 1 yesterday.
Not at all. I think we called him an idiot.
Yeah. And then Connor emails us. So thanks for watching, Connor. He emails and says, hey, guys, I apologize. I didn't know I was ranking my top 25. I'm new to the show. I thought you just wanted 25 teams I was interested in and you previewing. And he put Mississippi State first because he's a Mississippi State guy.
Okay.
And
Fair
then
enough.
He went through. I had kicked his ballot out early. I was going to let Mississippi State hang in there. But when we got to Southern Miss and La Tech in the top 10 or 11.
Vestavia.
Yeah, I was like.
Well, that's what you sent that text out, the group text. I was like, kick him out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the context. I didn't know what he was doing. But
Well, it makes more sense now, but he
it
does
does.
have a weird grouping of teams he wants us to talk
He did.
about. I'll say that.
And he had Ohio State 25th or somewhere down there. And I was
Right.
like, this guy's playing with us. I don't like people playing with our poll. I take it very seriously.
Me neither, Jim.
So I kicked it out. And then later in the night, I read the email and I was like, man, no big deal. It's a misunderstanding.
Yeah, it's
Please
all good,
come back
boss.
and vote next year. So 94 voters we have. That includes the 3 of us and a lot of people up here. And Taylor has put together our top 25, and we'll unveil those right after we tell you about our friends at Hydra Live. I don't know what EG's up to. She was trying to hit me up for a little sodium drink, and I sent her back to the back room. We got the great Coca-Cola product right here from Body Armor.
You love those things.
Yeah.
You drink one almost every day, I think.
Just on preparing for the golf weekend, Brad.
Okay, good idea.
I got 7 rounds in 5 days coming up this weekend.
Where y'all going?
We are Bent Brook on Friday for 2 rounds, and then we're off to the Mississippi casinos.
Oh, those courses I've heard are terrific.
Oh, your
I've
week's about to get crazy.
I have never.
so y'all can't even make it down the road without stopping at a golf course.
Yes, I have never.
So we drive over to Mississippi on Friday night. We get Dancing Rabbit and some other course on Saturday, and then to another casino Saturday night.
I'm jealous of you. Those are really good
Sunday.
courses. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You're gonna play Old Waverly?
I'm debating on taking Monday off, but
Are you playing Old Waverly? Do you know?
I do not know.
Well, you're over there. Y'all ought to play Old Waverly. Not too
I
far
don't
away.
know. LT actually helped me book some local team
Why don't
times.
you
I
just
appreciate it.
take Monday off if you're already
Yeah,
debating it?
do it.
I almost took Monday off on you guys yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. But see, you almost did.
Jim, we
Mondays-
are not going to judge you if you take Monday off.
Mondays are important. I got some time.
to who?
Time off coming up. To me, man. I like being here on Mondays.
Okay, so we have not seen the 40 and 40.
No.
Nope.
Who do you think can get closer to number 40 tomorrow? Like just guessing up. I'm going to go Texas Tech.
I've
Okay.
seen it.
Give me Hydro Live.
You
and
are
then
close to it, though.
Give me Hydro Live.
IV therapy, B12 injections. You talked about cryotherapy. They've got it. Compression therapy. It's all under one roof. Turnkey from our friends at HydroLive. You can boost your immune system with HydroLive therapy. Would you like for them to come up on Thursday to bring us some bags?
Get you really ready?
I got around Thursday afternoon. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Do you want them up here on Thursday?
Yes, I would love to have them anytime. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Ask about the membership. You get impressive savings, benefit members receive. You can recoup that membership fee in just one visit. HydroLive open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. 2 locations here in Birmingham. The newest location, 119 in Greystone. The location right there in Homewood. For more information, hydrolivetherapy.com. And while you're in there, make sure you tell them the next round 20% off any of the services from our friends at HydroLive.
I know you've got the show planned. I'm not trying to disrupt it. It is entirely your call.
Already teased the top 25.
I know. That's why I'm bringing
else.
this up.
Breaking news?
ESPN has just announced week 1 kick times. I don't know if y'all consider that.
For college football?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that breaking news for you?
That takes precedent.
Okay.
Can we flash the lights?
We have week 1 kick times.
I mean, this is SEC football.
This is a lot of SEC games. This is not all the games, but all the major games. So I don't have everybody's, but it does include Alabama's. This is all the stuff ESPN is showing.
Does it include Auburn?
I don't have Auburn's game. Their first game is not on here.
Typical
ESPN. They hit
No,
Auburn.
it's typical.
No, we're going to get blamed for that.
Yeah, typical next round.
I can only do what ESPN gives me.
I mean, you let me know when you're going to talk Auburn at some point.
I will.
That was a tweet I got yesterday.
I know.
Yeah, let me know when we're going to talk Auburn. I mean,
I
it's
will
like
give you the Auburn
2 tweets after we had a full sit down with Hugh Freeze.
I know.
Yeah.
The minute the Auburn time comes out, I'll tell you. But I don't have it right now. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that up front.
There's a reason why when we flash the lights in here, it's red, right, Forrester? It's never orange and blue.
That's true. Scott could do that now. He could stage an orange and blue.
I'm not sure he could.
Oh, Scott could do anything.
No, maybe we should do that. Whoever wins the Iron Bowl, we'll just keep it their color scheme for the year.
We could be like the Empire State Building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We have got the week 0, that Saturday Ireland game. Florida State, Georgia Tech is going to be an 11 a.m. kick. 11 a.m.
In
for
America
Florida State,
or Ireland?
In America. These are all going to be
That's
Central
pretty
Time.
good. It's better than the old 8 or 9
That's right.
they were going with.
These
So
are
that
all
makes it a
gonna
night
be
game over there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Yeah, these are all going to be Central Time, I'm giving you.
Wreck 'em,
here is Central.
Tech!
Yeah, it should be 6 o'clock kick over there.
Central Time. Saturday, August 24th, same day, late night, Florida A&M Norfolk State on ABC. Then the first Thursday night.
So you're really going to give us every game then?
I mean, Jim, they're 12,
Okay, go
and
ahead.
we've got 3 hours. North Dakota State at Colorado is going to be ESPN 7 o'clock Central Time.
Main ESPN. I wonder
Main
what crew will get
ESPN.
that.
They don't have crews yet.
No, I
don't
know that. I was
think.
just
Well, no, I was looking to see,
asking your
actually.
opinion.
You think Lugs will be on that?
Yeah.
No, I mean, normally that's...
Do you think Herb Street will jump on
Normally, that's one of their bigger crews because, I mean, they'll put Klatt and Gus, I guess, on the, what is that, North Carolina at Minnesota? You think Klatt and Gus will do that?
Oh, that's a Fox game.
Yeah. Well, if it's at Minnesota, they've got the
I
rights.
thought you were
to
giving
it.
me ESPN time.
This is all ESPN. No.
I mean,
Don't
I
get
don't even know
confused by
what
this.
the angle to excite people on that game. You know, last year it would have been Drake May.
Yeah.
These are ESPN times.
Yes, Jim.
Why you're talking Klatt with me?
Because you were asking who they would put on the ESPN game, and I said they'll probably have Klatt and Gus on the Fox game that night.
Yeah.
I think it required that much explanation. Friday, August 30th, we got a Friday game. 7 o'clock, Temple at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's first game is an SEC team against Temple. You're going to get to see it on ESPN.
It would be a bad loss.
It would be a bad loss.
Yes.
Doubleheader on that Friday because following that, TCU is at Stanford. That is a Big 12 versus ACC game. TCU at
So
Stanford on Friday. So
Sort
you
of
got
the
a
Big 12 ACC Challenge.
You got a Friday, August 30th doubleheader.
Will they put an ACC logo at Cardinal Stadium? I mean, nobody will see it.
Yeah, who's going to know?
Always
Tree of the
pretty
woods.
seats, man. I always look at that stadium. I'm like, man, they got some nice seats between the 20s.
yes.
Chair backs.
Now,
you could pick tickets up off the ground out there.
Now,
good.
here's your weekend. All right, here's your weekend. Saturday, ABC, Clemson, Georgia, an 11 a.m. kick in Atlanta.
Straight out of game
I am
day.
surprised by that kick time.
Why is that not a
Now,
primetime
see,
game?
this big topic coming up in a moment. Why we hate 11 a.m. games.
Yep.
And all you Alabama fans yesterday, we'll get into it. We're griping about the 11 a.m. Wisconsin kick.
Yeah, I think Fox is-
I said get ready because now that ESPN owns all the SEC, we'll have some good games right there.
Well, I think Fox has messed this up for us because I think their ratings have been so good with
They
this
have
big
been.
noon kickoff.
Yep.
And now it's punishing the people that don't like the 11 o'clock games, including me.
In a moment, I'll get to why this is the 11 o'clock game. It'll make a little more sense in a moment.
Okay. Would you? Okay.
In a
Because of
moment.
another
Yep.
game?
Yep.
Okay.
Saturday, August 31st, 3:30. So the noon kick is Clemson, Georgia, 3:30 ABC.
3:30 Central?
2:30, I'm sorry, 2:30 ABC, Miami at Florida. It will be hot as 10 hells in that game at 2:30.
It will literally feel like a swamp.
I mean, it will. Yeah. Miami at Florida, 2:30 kick. So you got Clemson, Georgia, Miami, Florida, and at the same time, I'm trying to decide if I want to do all the ABC games or ESPN. At the same time, 2:30 Colorado State, Texas, their first SEC game, 2:30 ESPN.
Sneaky good.
6 o'clock, Western Kentucky at Alabama. Kalen DeBoer's debut on ESPN, main ESPN.
Main ESPN for Western Kentucky and Alabama.
It's an indicator of how week one is, that you're going to get Western Kentucky, Alabama, primetime ESPN.
Well, I mean, you have that passing offense at Western Kentucky and a rebuilt secondary. That's Alabama's weakness.
6 o'clock.
If you're an Alabama fan and you've got tickets, I guess you're a little happier about a 6 o'clock kick.
It won't be as hot as that Miami, Florida game. I can tell you that.
Bad loss.
That would be a terrible loss.
Terrible loss.
Can you imagine? I mean,
imagine?
I'll take that Monday off.
Yeah.
I guess we'd be live Saturday, probably all the way to Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know that they ever let us go go unlive.
Yeah, Taylor would be like, "Hey, can y'all just go live?
Yeah, one more hour.
Just keep going."
Saturday, August 31st, 6:30, head-to-head with Alabama, Western Kentucky. This is why Clemson, Georgia is the early game. Notre Dame, Texas A&M in College Station. ABC primetime game, also the site of Week 1's College Game Day. So Nick Saban's debut on College Game Day, the College Game Day show, will debut in College Station, Texas for Notre Dame, Texas A&M. That's your primetime game.
I mentioned this to him offside set briefly. I was like, "Hey, do you think you're going to get booed?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "On the game day set when you're on the road." And he was like, "I don't know." And then he left. Shook my head.
No shits.
Shook my head. He did not care.
No, he does not care.
But I was hoping for an answer like I don't care or anything. But do you think he'll get booed at
but I think
these SEC places on the road?
Yeah, he's been booed before though.
Nick Saban's back with us, and McAfee's like, "No."
Well, so LeBron was at Game 4 of the Cavs in Boston.
Hate this guy now.
I know he's impossible to like. I hope he opts out.
Basically, he just shows up to be attention. He's attention.
But anyway, my point was going to be he got a really warm reception, and a few years ago he would have gotten booed.
Yeah.
So I think Nick Saban for this first round will get booed everywhere he goes.
Keep in mind,
and then I think next year I don't think it will be the deal that it will be this year.
Yeah, Lee Corso used to get booed. Now he's beloved. I mean, like they all cheer for Corso. The Sunday night game, 6:30, Las Vegas, USC, LSU on ABC, and then the Labor Day night game, Boston College at Florida State on ESPN at 6:30 as well. Yeah. So your ABC slate for the first Saturday is Clemson, Georgia, Miami at Florida, Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Pretty good slate right there on ABC.
Yeah.
Put it on ABC and rip the knob off, as they used to say. We don't have the early ESPN kick yet on Saturday, but your middle day game is Colorado State at Texas. Your late night game is Western Kentucky at Alabama.
I'm ready for it.
Yep. I am too.
Me too.
I'll take any of them.
You tell us you did Hydra Live. Tell us about Hemp Hill, and then we'll unveil our top 25.
Yeah, make sure your unit ready to keep up with this changing weather. I'm sure it's going to be in the 80s again this weekend.
Oh,
we got a little
yeah.
cool snap over the last couple of days. But whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
This is the way we voted, just 3 of 94 votes. So we're just a small pebble in a pond here. But this is how we voted, and we'll get to the tabulation of everybody starting tomorrow. Who's up first, Forrester? We're going to start with Ryan Brown's preseason top 25. First off, thanks to Taylor Korn and Forrester for all their work on these graphics and putting them up and everything. Brownie, walk us through the highlights of your top 25 here.
Well, I don't have. Well, I guess my biggest highlight, I'm not as high on Ole Miss as a lot of people, and I guess in some cases Missouri. I've got Missouri 10th and Ole Miss 12th. I don't like Alabama just to fall off the face of the earth because Nick Saban is going there. I still have them in the top 4, though I've got Georgia and Ohio State as my 1 and 2.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay.
Can I point this out? I tweeted this out yesterday as I was through tabulating that Alabama in the first – this is the 15th 40 and 40 countdown. One year we made it a 30 for 30 because of sales, but 40 and 40. It's the 15th preseason poll we've done like this, and it's the first time Alabama has not received one first-place vote.
That's interesting. But and
94 of our viewers, listeners, and us, and not one person put Alabama number 1.
That's a good thing for Kayla DeBoer in Alabama.
Yeah,
It is.
I would tend to agree with you. Oregon 5th, Notre Dame 6, Penn State 7, Utah 8, LSU 9, and Missouri wraps up my top 10 there.
You always put Jack State at 25.
I always give Jack State, they were my first job, so I give them my vote at number 25. Hey, they can finish 25.
Not always, but since they moved up to
Since
this
they moved
level.
up, I was the first person, by the way, to ever vote Jack State in a college football poll.
You were.
First
technically.
person in all the universe to ever put Jack State in a college football
Wow,
poll.
put that on your bio.
I will.
A good use of.
I don't have a degree, so I
you
gotta
know,
put
there's a
something.
variety of logos that you can pick to put up there. Good use by Taylor of the Ole Miss logo at 12 and the SMU logo at 24.
I love
Both
that
of those
SMU
just
logo.
pop.
Yep.
What's another SMU logo you would do?
I don't
Well,
know,
I'm
but I
just
love
saying
that
there.
one.
I mean, to have the blue background with that one, the Ole Miss.
And
Where
at 12, you can't put Colonel Reb out there anymore.
cannot.
You can. I'm just saying there's different color combinations you could use. I like the way those pop off
Yep.
the screen there.
I would have rather
God,
at
man,
12.
it's so hard to give people compliments up here.
I would have rather
What
had
other
12.
ones would you have done? Taylor's like a
No.
monkey back there. Anybody could just
No,
build
you
that
just
graphic.
love giving people compliments up here.
Yeah.
I try
God,
to,
Jim.
man.
Just trying to move in a little bit. Hey, number 12 would have been better with the light blue background. The red on red makes no sense.
I thought I liked it. It was
You
different.
do not. You would like the light blue better, and you're
I
just
don't
not
think
going to
I
admit
would.
it.
I don't think I
Brown,
would.
do you think he'd like the light blue better?
I think you would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it looks a little bit like the SMU logo.
I liked it. It was different. All right, who's next, Forrester? That's mine. Here we go. Ours look a lot alike on the first line, Brownie.
Yeah, how
Georgia,
about
Ohio
that?
State,
Y'all are
Texas,
5 for 5.
Alabama, and Oregon there. I like LSU at 6. I like Notre Dame at 7. Sneaky good quarterback when he gets healthy again.
Riley Leonard, yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
defense going to be lights out. Mike Denbrock coming over from LSU. They had, one of the best offenses in all of football. I think with Riley Leonard, year 3, Marcus Freeman. I think Notre Dame's going to be really
And
good.
one of the things I looked at, Jim, I don't know if you did with Notre Dame because I had them quite high as well. Not a back-breaking schedule as they
Schedule was
normally
very
have.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a doable schedule for them.
I looked at them as if I looked at them like it was Louisville last year. I was like,
Yeah.
they can get through this thing pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Ole Miss at 8. I think Clemson's got some talent to bounce back. Klubnik's got to be better. I don't think Florida State drops off with DJ at quarterback there, but enough to where they're behind Clemson. I believe in Miami. I believe in Utah at 14. I like USC to be better defensively at 18. And no Oklahoma State for me in my top 25.
Okay.
I have Nebraska in there. I have Kansas in there. I have Arizona in there instead of Oklahoma State. Part of that. I just think, what is it? Bowman's 7th year.
Yeah.
I don't buy Oklahoma State this year.
Well, I just remember, they start 1-2 or 1-3, and then Ollie Gordon, they finally just start to get him in the game plan, and it was a completely different offense. I think they'll be pretty good next year.
Can you pop that back up full real quick, Forrester? See which logos I like here. Like the way the Oklahoma pops there. That's a really good use of the logo there. Taylor, great job by you.
I like that Kansas logo, Jim, at 23. That's a good logo. I've
Yeah.
always liked the Kansas logo. I don't
have
know
not,
why.
Brownie.
You don't like the walking Jayhawk?
I do not.
Lance, break the tie. You used to live in Kansas. You like that logo?
I do like that logo.
Yeah, all right.
Too cartoonish. A really good 21 there. NC State Wolfpack, by the way. I think NC State has a good year, too. Let's
I
do
do too.
LT's top
God, NC
25
State
now.
stuff is
Let's pull
awesome.
LT back into the conversation. Here's yours, Lance.
Okay, so I'm a little confused because I thought I had sent you 25 different teams, and you told me I had Oregon at 6 and 9, but I didn't. Yeah, I had Oregon at 6. I'm looking at it. I had Notre Dame at 9.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like now you've bounced Notre Dame from my entire top 25.
We're going to redo Lance's. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got that. Yeah, because I'm looking at my top 25 I sent you. I just assumed you were right.
Did you use a good logo on it, though, Jim?
So anyway, Notre Dame should be in there. We just need to reshuffle around a little bit.
Yeah, so we just go Notre Dame at 9 and shuffle everybody back down one?
That might work.
Yeah,
It's
because
gonna be
that's all
bad
I
for
did was
Texas.
move
Sorry,
every-
Texas A&M.
Anyway, I think Ohio State is all in. This is a year Ryan Day. Not only he's got to beat Michigan, got to get to that college football playoff, got to win some games, and ultimately win a national championship. You know me with Utah. I'm going to believe Cam Rising is going to be back 100%. I think they're going to win the Big 12, put them in the college football playoff. They'll get a home game. What are some other highlights there? I agree with you on NC State.
You've
Am I
got
the
Auburn
only-
ranked.
I've got
Yeah.
Auburn in the top
Yep.
20.
I know you do.
I think Auburn is going to win 9 or 10 games this year. Again, I will use my Missouri analogy. If they would have closed out the season the way they should have, they would be one of the trendy, sexy picks right now.
True.
I think SC is going to be a little bit better than people expect. What else? Oh, I had to keep Washington and Florida State in there.
Yep.
I think they drop off, but not completely out.
I like it. So we'll start counting them down tomorrow. We appreciate all 91 other people other than us three putting in your ballot there at Next Round Live. It was fun. When we ask for it next year, jump in and be a part of the excitement. That is our 40 and 40 countdown, which is brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Next Round, and they'll be counting down our 40 and 40 teams starting tomorrow. So we got some college football kick times from ESPN, including now a couple of Alabama games. We got 3 games we know of Alabama's kick times already when you factor in the Georgia primetime game in Tuscaloosa, and so much more to come on the show, including a fun little graphic that was sent out by, I think it was the folks at The Athletic earlier. We'll give some credit to them later on. That just shows you how all 3 major football, basketball, and baseball teams compare like
I saw this.
Where
if you just do winning percentages where
last 10 years.
That's right.
We'll get to that coming up. Maybe in the next segment here. It's a fun just to see where, say, the Dolphins compare to other franchises over the last 10 years. I don't like where my Buccaneers slotted,
it basically be who's your drafting partner in every other major sport is what it initially is.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's fun stuff. All that to come on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. One thing that's not fun, I'll go ahead and tell you, is these hailstorms we've had recently. But it gets a lot more, you can maneuver around it a little bit better when you got a guy like Greg from Pell City in your back pocket. You keep that number on standby, 205-542-3531. What Greg will do for you, he'll come out instantly right after the storm. He will assess the damage. He'll help you, by insurance code, cover up and protect your valuables, and then help you with the insurance company. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City. We had some storms recently. We'll have more storms rolling through today. Some thunderstorms expected in the central Alabama area. Keep Greg Nelson on standby, 205-542-3531. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, locally owned for so long. It is Storm Restoration Roofing, a proud sponsor of the Next Round.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Birmingham, your Stallions take on former Crimson Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks on Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m. It's Braves Day. You get to meet Braves mascot Blooper and get a free custom baseball card. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. Tickets start at just $10. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 3 home games left this season, don't miss the chance to cheer on the unbeaten Stallions. Let's pack protective.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
101 days to the start of the college football season to week 0. Tomorrow's day 100. That's when we start our 40 and 40 from our friends at mybookie.ag. Lunsford is here playing the role of, what's the guy on Fox that helps with the officials and explains the rulings on the field?
Oh, Mike Pereira?
Mike Pereira. Lunsford, Mike Pereira. LT questioned a call earlier.
So he got his three-piece suit on back there?
Yeah.
Look like Nucky Thompson?
Lunsford, LT challenged a vote earlier. Do we have an update?
What did he challenge?
He challenged Oregon at 6. He said, I made a mistake. Notre Dame was 9. What did the spreadsheet that went to nextroundlive.com say?
Well, let me first say that when I send these instructions out, I have very clear instructions. If you put multiple teams on here, your ballot will be invalid. Like, if you put Alabama multiple times on there, it's going to be invalid.
Right. That's normally just for the general audience.
Wow, you do sound like Mike Pereira now. You're being a little bit of a mean person.
I'm like them doing the UFL thing over the Jumbotron for everybody to see and criticize. Number 6, Oregon Ducks. Number 9, Oregon Ducks.
Okay, well, to my defense, pull your phone when I texted you everything.
Yeah, well, I have to go by the spreadsheet.
I know, but
there's a chance Notre Dame and Oregon were one drop-down button apart from each other?
I think so.
I don't know that. It was alphabetical order, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at what I sent you, and I definitely had it right.
Yeah, I didn't look at that. I just had that spreadsheet.
But what you sent him doesn't count.
Apparently, but I would have thought you would have told me it was invalid, and then I would have gone back and figured out what was going on.
I sent you. I said you got Oregon twice.
But he didn't. He said that.
He didn't look at the spreadsheet. He just
I don't look at it. I
sent
it to Jim. Jim's in charge of it.
This is Jim's fault.
But all I got was an email that said, hey, you're 40 and 40's in. Yeah. I figured I sent you the right one. So anyway, do you want me to resend this to Lunsford or
no? We're going to work on it.
I don't think it's really that important, but
no, it is. It is. It will not change the positioning of everything because of the gaps in between them, but I will correct the scoring and have it correct when we start tomorrow, 40 and 40.
That's
you
what's
take
really
the rest
important.
of the day.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Okay. It's going from 10 hours to now 11 hours.
Yeah. This show being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Listen, if you're a young couple looking for that home with a great pool, golf course, great place to have dinner on property, Inverness Country Club's the place.
Well, we've got some friends that have got memberships up there, and they love going for a good Friday dinner. You drop the kids. You've got childcare right there on site. You can have a good romantic evening, a good socializing evening with everybody at Inverness Country Club. And Dunaway, you're going on a golf trip this weekend. How about this? Not only can you get the golf membership up there, but ask about the Heritage Plus option where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs across the country.
Amazing.
Inverness Country Club, great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated, maybe you've retired. Inverness, great place to network. Childcare also a big plus. Again, you and your wife want that day of golf or tennis. You can drop the kid, go have a fun day on the court or course. Dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site, massive plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Whatever your interests are, you can find them at Inverness. They even have a vineyard club. The best days happen in Inverness. To take a tour today of the unbelievable club, call Aaron, 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608. Tell Aaron the guys from the Next Round sent you. You can also view everything online. Go to ICCalabama.com. That's ICCalabama.com.
We all have our favorite NFL teams, our favorite Major League Baseball teams, and some people have a favorite NBA team. Mine's the Knicks. We're struggling. We're beat up, tied 2-2. Big game tonight. But I love to see where my Buccaneers, this chart that came down, what's the guy's name that puts this out? Let's see it, Forrester. It's at Brooks Gate, and I think I saw this on The Athletic, or maybe it was on CBS this morning, one of the things I went through. What this is the winning percentage of the 3 major sports in America the last 10 years. So it has nothing to do with championships or anything like that, because the Buccaneers slide in at 19. with the drafting partners of the A's and Pelicans, which are offensive to me because in the last 10 years we've won a Super Bowl. But at the top of the list, the cream of the crop, the drafting partners, Dodgers, Warriors, and Chiefs over the last 10 years, the three marquee franchises for the last decade.
Okay, so the Chiefs have got multiple championships. What, 3? I think Golden State's got 4, and the Dodgers have 1.
You got the one.
I mean, that's the one thing. I mean, the Dodgers are always good. You can book around 96 to 102 wins and a pretty decent run in the postseason, but they're not going to win championships.
Astros down this year, Celtics rising, Patriots on their way down, but they slide in at number 2.
Boy, I mean, if you're the Red Sox, what a telling stat there, right? That the other 2 Boston teams are right there at number 2, the Patriots and the Celtics, and you're all the way down at 10. I mean, imagine if you're a Boston fan, you could have the number 2 winningest teams.
Okay, when was the last time the Patriots won a Super Bowl? Was it Super Bowl 56?
I think that's right.
Or Super Bowl 53 against the Rams? Was that the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, but that's, it's the calendar moves. It's the last 10 years. The calendar moves. They will continue to drop because it hasn't been good here. Yankees, who's that, Mariners? That's number 3 there, and Steelers? Is that the Mariners?
No,
that's yeah. That's
Mariners are paired up with my Rams.
Yeah, I see. That's a Yankees and an NBA logo that I can't make out from here. Is
that the Clippers?
Hold on.
No, it can't be the Clippers.
I'm being told it's the Clippers.
It's the Clippers? They're third?
It can't be the Clippers.
They're third in winning percentage over the last decade?
Yeah.
I've never seen that Clippers logo.
That's
but
a new logo they're using starting next year in their new arena.
Is it possible the Clippers are third in winning percentage over the last decade?
No.
They have to be.
Well, they have to be based on this.
According to Brooks.
Yeah.
Gate.
Wait, you're talking about third in the NBA in winning percentage?
That's the way this is organized.
I would definitely think they're top 10. There's no way they're third.
The last 10 years. It says
According to Brooks,
is.
they are.
Where's your favorite team? The Rams, LT. You go
they're 12 line.
The 12 line. Paired up with the Mariners and the Rockets.
Not a terrible company, Lance.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Mariners starting pitching right now is lights out. I don't know anything really trending in the right direction with the Rockets.
Your Dolphins, Giants and Mavericks.
Yeah, not terrible company there.
Yeah.
I mean, Giants and Mavericks, pretty good.
I mean, it's the thing about the Rams, though, at 12 is they don't really draft in the first round, do they?
That's true.
They don't. Rockstars Lions trending up. They're 21 winning percentage now. Padres and Bulls.
Yeah, there was a time Rockstar being paired with the Bulls was right where you wanted to be.
Is this 95? When is this?
This is not the mid-90s.
State of the Lakers, Forster's Falcons right there with the Lakers and the Pirates.
I mean, that's embarrassing for your basketball franchise.
Oh, yeah.
That you're drafting partners, the Falcons and Pirates.
Yeah. Down at the bottom, Reed's a big Giants fan.
Rockstar's a Pistons fan.
Yeah.
Couldn't name a player.
Nobody's a Marlins fan.
Marlins, Pistons, and Giants, the worst franchises the last 10 years.
Well, I tell you, 28. I mean, if you would have told people that back in the 70s and 80s.
Reds, Knicks, Bears.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty bad. Really, really, probably the same thing when you move all the way up the list to San Francisco, and the Dolphins were really good back then too.
In the 70s?
Yeah. Keep moving up.
Yeah, that can't be right because San Fran's 16th. San Fran has got to be in the top 5 of winning percentage right now.
Over the last
10 years?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It just says based on winning percentage. I mean, I'm assuming this guy did his work. I looked at it the other day, and I'm like, boy, that was a lot of work for this old cat to do, but I'm going to guess that he did it right. And I am not going to go back and check his math. I can promise you that.
Me either.
I may sit here and debate it on the air. The Clippers, there's no way the Clippers are third, but you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go click on it and do the math.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that the Braves last 10 years have a worse winning percentage than the Cubs or my Tampa Bay Rays.
I got no idea, man.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey, Elliot says, look at the 10 line. That is wild. Red Sox, Spurs, Eagles, all the way down at 10 for all 3 of them.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
I mean, and there's some championships in there.
Yeah. Jets and Jaguars down there because there's too many NFL teams to pair them up.
They're in a league of their own.
They're in a league of their own. All right. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. One more thing to get to in this about college football. One thing I didn't know actually could happen. in college football, but it's happening. Could be happening with the Florida Gators after you tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, it seems like everything is going up in price, but not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. Doctors Jennifer and Mark Michelson have held the cost at LASIK steady for pre-inflation pricing from 2 years ago. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Ask about that pre-inflation pricing. And also, people are getting those tax refunds back. Use your tax refund for LASIK with Doctors Mark and Jen Michelson. Perfect way to do something really great for yourself. Speaking from experience, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 2015 vision better than 2020. Call, schedule the free consultation today, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
This makes all the sense in the world. I don't know why it has just dawned on me you can do this. But in this day of NIL, you don't really have scholarship limits anymore. Cormani McClain, the big 5-star recruit from Colorado, on his second visit to Florida, Florida's scholarships are full right now. It looks like, according to sources, he's going to pick Florida as what they're terming to be an NIL walk-on.
So isn't this essentially what Nebraska was doing in the 70s and 80s?
With their offensive linemen?
With their offensive linemen. So for those that don't remember, every county in the state of Nebraska had a quarterback club or Cornhusker club or whatever, and that club would donate a scholarship to Nebraska. And those scholarships would go to, I don't even, walk-ons. A lot of offensive linemen got those scholarships.
Yeah.
And then they would have their NCAA mandated 26 scholarships to give to skill players, defenders, everybody else.
People they had to import into Nebraska.
And apparently there was a loophole that allowed them to do that somehow, and the NCAA closed that loophole and stopped it. But it feels like we're back to that now, right?
Yeah.
That basically, why would I use 26 scholarships? I can just go get this great player and say, here's $10 million in NIL money. Now, you're going to have to back out $26,000 a year for your scholarship and your room and board and all that.
We've already written that check. The envelope's sealed. Just drop this in the mailbox.
That's right. Drop it in the mail. We're good to go. But otherwise, this is your money.
Again, I don't know how powerful the NCAA is, but I think that this is going to be something that really gets looked at.
Well, I mean, but this actually, I think, Lance, this is going to be what everybody's doing soon. I mean, once athletes are employees.
Yeah, but once you get, let's just say that Ohio State gets everything streamlined and they have $30 million a year, well, I wonder if they've got a legit 110 guys that can play.
Well, I think you'll have roster limits. I think what we'll eventually have, this is just my guess.
When you're talking about once you become like...
Yeah. Once everybody splits off from the NCAA, once these big schools say, why are we letting the NCAA make our rules? We'll make our own rules. We'll control all the money, and we split off. I think you'll have a standard roster that will be smaller than 85 because the schools are not going to want to pay that much.
Remember, we traveled in the SEC with 70.
That's right. And I think that's probably the number you'd be looking at right there. So you have 70. I think the schools will no longer pay for scholarships. So for those that don't know, like Alabama and Auburn sit down. They used to sit down and write out a check. I'm sure it's transfer now. And transfer money to the school for the scholarships they give out. The athletic departments do. That's not just the school saying, here, take these.
Yeah.
They pay for them.
That's right. It's not just a wink and a nod. Here's a free T-shirt.
Yeah, they pay for those scholarships, right? So the schools, I think, will quit doing that. Like, you got to be enrolled. Here's your $1 million. Don't forget, this is when tuition's due, right? And, maybe the schools back that, I don't know, but it'll be on the athlete's shoulders. The athletic department won't have to pay it anymore to be part of your salary. So I think this is the way, Lance, it'll work in the future. You'll just have a smaller group of people that, I'm giving you $8 million. Don't forget your tuition is this much. Make sure you pay it because we're going to need you eligible. Or the schools could just say, you know what, we really don't care if they're in class or not anymore. This is just semi-professional football. And if they choose to go to class, they choose to go to class. If they just come here to play football, they come here to play football. That's the other thing the group of schools could decide to do.
I mean, what do you guys really think the percentage of athletes that go to class and give effort?
I'll use the old great Wimp Sanderson quote. Everyone that wants to.
Everyone that wants to.
Yeah, that's true, but I would say it's less than half.
Wimp got asked one time back in the day about how many of your players graduate, and he says, everyone that wants to.
Yep.
It's so true, but do you guys kind of agree? Probably less than half?
I mean, I hope it's more than half, but I don't know. I don't know the number, but it's not everybody. It's not 100%. And look, there is a scenario.
I mean, if I'm Quinn Ewers, I'm not going to class.
Yeah, and there's a scenario where I could see where the schools that split off from the NCAA say, look, we're not even going to pretend about this anymore. If they want to go to class and get a degree, they can, but we're not going to make it a mandatory deal for them to be eligible. Like, if they don't want to take class and we can just sit here and pay them, we're going to sit here and pay them. I don't know that you'll get to that right away, but I could see a day where that happens.
So many athletes, and I don't know about, other students, but so many athletes. How many people we've talked to now that most of their classes are online now?
Well, a lot of the athletes do that.
Yeah. I take online classes.
Yeah.
Take online classes.
I mean, somebody else can take it for you.
Most of my classes are online now. All right, little college football there. Ajay Hall, by the way, Alabama, Texas. He also is a walk-on. Feels very different, though. Not listed as an NIL walk-on, just walking on at UCF. Trying to find that one spring game magic he had. That great catch in the spring game at A-Day game in Tuscaloosa, and never really has taken it to the field.
Yeah, he was the talk coming out of that game, but then it ended up, and I mean, there were a lot of people talking about him and not talking about Jamison Williams coming out of that game, and it ended up Jamison Williams and John Mechie were the two best receivers, and really Hall didn't get any significant time until both those guys ended up getting hurt, and there's Hall in the national championship game.
Yeah, I would say that Ajay Hall should be a lesson to all of us, and maybe it'll be Isaiah Bond if he doesn't have a great year, but Ajay Hall, for all of us that get upset when somebody leaves our school and goes somewhere else, and you think, oh, it's the end of the world. This guy's leaving and he's going to go to Texas. And you think, oh, he's going to be so good at Texas. Maybe he's not going to be that good. Maybe he's leaving for a reason. Maybe he wasn't producing at your school for a reason, and he ends up going somewhere else and doesn't turn into a superstar. Ajay Hall from Alabama to Texas, now to UCF, trying to find some playing time and some success as he walks on now for Gus Malzahn's team. We're back in a moment on TNR. When we come back, the Village Vice guys over on War Damn Pods tell you who an Auburn breakout running back could be this football season when the Tigers kick off their season. Brown working hard to find some kick times for Auburn. As soon as the TV folks announce it, he is crunching numbers over there.
I'll tell you.
Back in a moment right here on TNR.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Back with you on the next round. Basketball continues tonight. Last night in the NBA, Boston up 3-1 over the Cavs. People were like, can LeBron not go to a game? I just don't. I mean, do you see a lot of other players go and high-profile players in that league? I mean, if you're Aaron Rodgers going to an NBA playoff game, that's different. LeBron James going to another NBA playoff game when your team's been eliminated, when you could be a free agent, seems like he's stealing some limelight.
Well, it's stupid. It makes no sense. I agree with you. Yeah, if you see Aaron Rodgers there, not a big deal. If you see LeBron at a Jets playoff game, it's not a big deal.
That's right.
But for him to go back to his old stomping grounds, it does seem like he's just trying to grab the spotlight. He's one of those guys that he will retire on one of the biggest days in sports, like in Super Bowl
Sunday,
right before kick.
Retirement.
And I hope they just don't even run it.
Or NBA Finals.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably more likely.
But last night, Boston beats the Cavs 3-1, so the Celtics are going to move on in that series. That was the Cavs' last grasp there. Shea Gilchrist last night. Alexander. Shea Gilchrist-Alexander last night, 34 points as OKC, even that series up. Luka so hurt, man, 6 of 20 shooting last night.
Well, so he's got the right knee, he's got the left ankle.
It's a bad combination, by the way.
He has a triple-double still, but yeah, he struggled 6 of 20 from the field, 2 of 9 behind the arc last night. Free throws were really the difference in both games because Dallas had 13 blocks, which is a franchise high, but they only got to the stripe 23 times. They missed 11 free throws, 12 of 23, and on the other side, the Thunder, 23 of 24.
The Mavericks down the stretch misses were that last minute. What did they miss? 3, I think, in the last minute.
And they had that game.
When every possession mattered.
I mean, you see double-digit leads blown every single game in the NBA, but up 14 in the second half at home where you can take a commanding lead, take that thing 3-1. That was a game the Mavericks had to close out. Now, Atlanta's like we had OKC plus a 3, so we like that as a winner. But this is a hell of a series right now.
Pacers-Knicks tonight, Minnesota-Denver, both series tied 2-2. Interesting enough that it'll be 2 days off for Pacers and Knicks when they go back for Game 6 in Indianapolis because the arena will be used on Thursday night for the debut of Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut is pushing the NBA playoff game a day later than scheduled. Now, as Caitlin Clark debuts tonight on the road. And by the way, when I told you last week, streaming only on Disney Plus, first live streaming sporting event on Disney Plus, they weren't going to sit on the ratings. ESPN2 broadcasting it live tonight too.
Oh, okay.
They let that sort of simmer so you could go block in your Disney Plus subscription. Now, oh, by the way, it's going to be on live TV too.
I said
just subscribe.
The last few weeks from the WNBA draft to now that I would play the other side versus the Fever. I kind of like the Fever plus 7 tonight.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah, now that it's come around.
On the road at the Sun. It's the first Sun, and that's the Mohican Sun, right?
Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, 6:30 ESPN2 tonight. They haven't had a sellout since 2003.
Well, they'll have one tonight.
They've got one tonight already. And the largest ratings in WNBA history is 5 million viewers. Happened 27 years ago. They haven't had their largest viewership in 27 years. They'll shatter that record tonight.
You think they'll shatter it?
They'll shatter it.
So it needs how many viewers?
5 million.
And it's on ESPN2?
ESPN2 at 6:30. Perfect time.
Yeah, the problem, though, is you're going against Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs.
It's a tough spot.
Caitlin Clark's debut will beat the NBA playoffs tonight.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, tell me
That's
what
a good
her
battle.
at our friends MyBookie. Can you tell me what her total points are?
I can look. I can't swear that
I
they've
would
got that
put
up, but
it
I'll look.
at 24.5.
Oh, I'd take the under.
I think she's going to play well.
I'd take the under 24.5.
Whereas I said Paul Skeens was going to pitch well, and I guess depending on how you look at it, he was dominant in moments, and then he wasn't.
Now, it should be noted, right, that it's not that Caitlin Clark is preempting. This date was already set before they drafted her. This was a date that the Pacers had to have blacked out at home. The WNBA schedule was announced months ago.
Yeah.
It is.
They didn't move this game, is my point. This game was already set for this date.
The schedule, this is how everyone, Brian Windhorst was the first to report this, that in the sequencing of the games, that usually the NBA playoffs would have taken advantage of the arena and the WNBA game would have been moved.
Okay, so they would have moved the WNBA game, is what you're telling me. Okay.
It.
That's what I didn't know.
Well, and I think they've known for months and months and months they were taking Caitlin Clark. They've had the number 1 pick since the end of the season.
But Pacers didn't know who they were playing, how the sequence would fall out, and it's just out of norm in this. They will get 2 days off, and they're actually talking it's advantage Knicks if they're able to pull a win out because they're so banged up. They get an extra day of rest before going back for Game 6 in Indianapolis. And that's how they got into this. And by the way, and Brian Windhorst says, by the way, the reason they're getting the extra day of rest, Caitlin Clark's home debut in Indianapolis.
So they would have normally moved this game, is what Windhorst is saying. The NBA would have said, no, we're playing the playoff game right here. You guys can play tomorrow night.
Fine print probably that the Pacers get the controlling dates of those.
I would imagine so. I mean, the NBA owns both products here.
Those are good numbers. Lunsford said 20.5 are total, 4.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 3.5 3-pointers.
Where would you go on the points?
I would take
points
the over.
Is the only thing I'm worried about.
I would take the over.
I would take over 20.5 now, but under 24.5.
So let's remember to circle back to this. If you'll remind me, it'll be Wednesday, maybe Thursday before we get the numbers. I would be interested in seeing you think that tonight's ESPN2 WNBA game
will beat the Indiana-New York Knicks, which is a big market Knicks game on TNT, same time.
I do not think it will.
Yeah.
Now, they might skew it and act like it did.
Pacers at Knicks.
So either I'm going to lose or
I'm just saying.
Conspiracy.
I find it hard to believe basketball fans would rather watch Caitlin Clark's WNBA
it's not basketball fans. It's other people.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's not basketball
fans. Well, that's what I was going to say. Basketball fans are going to watch Pacers and Knicks.
Probably so, but it's your Fringe fans. I need to go find out what this Pacers-Knicks series has been doing. I'll find the TV numbers for that.
In my head, it's right around $5 million, bro.
I'll find it. I can find it. That's not a problem finding it. It's just putting it together when I find it here. Yeah. But I'll do that for you.
It'll be interesting. Show being brought to you today by one of our great sponsors, Way to Wellness. One more good thing to do in this segment before we move on. Way to Wellness will do a lot of good things for you. For me, weight loss, yes. For me, by the way, I finally lost all my Sweet 16 Final Four weight.
Congrats, man.
Finally got all that off of me.
I've been waiting for that. Rockstar, ring the bell. Rockstar, ring the bell.
Finally back into the 180s. Thank you.
We got to celebrate today.
Thank you, Way to Wellness. I mean, my goodness, it was hard.
I was wondering if we were ever going to get there, Jim.
Well, I mean, look, you've been doing so many workouts and sweating and lifting.
I have been working.
Yeah.
I haven't been lifting. I have been working out. I've been hitting the run walk again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, for the last couple of weeks. But back in the 180s. Good to be there. Blood pressure, cholesterol, in a great place thanks to Way to Wellness. You can jump on a plan, find out what they can do for you at Way to Wellness. Aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com. Pizza party and beer, Smuff. That's not going to help my goals at all.
Goes the other way.
My wife brings home a great cake yesterday from a local restaurant.
Right.
I brought you home a slice of cake. I said, that's not what I need. But I had it because I'm with Way to Wellness, and they keep me back into shape. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. No obligation to get that free consultation. Just go to aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fee, weight loss, blood pressure, cholesterol, and a lot more. Rockstar, let's keep it here. One more thing in this segment. Clay Travis coming up at the top of the hour. Occasionally on the show, these guys influence me to change my ways. I'm trying to think the last thing that happened. Do you remember the last thing that happened?
To make you change your ways?
Yeah, that I believed one way, and then I changed the way I believe because you guys showed me a better way. Something happened just like in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That I was like, no, I sort of agree with that now. I think it was sports related, so it's not important.
No, I don't really remember.
But I'm gonna give Brown credit on this. Brown has changed. Brown has changed. Something for me. Not exactly the way Brown likes it.
You dip your fries in barbecue sauce?
Not exactly the way Brown likes it, but Waffle House sends this out today. Forrester, if you'll...
I did my hash browns the other day with the cheese, jalapenos, and mayonnaise.
Waffle House, unpopular opinion, chewy bacon is better than crispy bacon.
I don't know what to tell you bacon people that disagree with this, but you got it wrong. It is much better limp than it is solid.
I ordered it crunchy the other day.
Yeah,
I got to where I don't like it burnt brown, but I don't like it raw like you do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a little on the extreme. I'll give you that on the fringes there, but I like it about the way it is in that photo. Looks good to me.
Yeah, I just don't like to chew on that fat.
I like it when it's the thick cut bacon.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, man, this is almost a pork chop.
Yeah, see, I don't like thick cut bacon. I like my bacon basically just to crumble.
I used to like that too. Basically, bacon bits.
Yeah, don't like that at all. Yeah.
Not so much. Not so much.
So
anymore.
Waffle House is saying chewy is now the more
chewy
preferred way?
bacon is better than crispy bacon.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion from Waffle House, and they are the breakfast people.
I believe them to be correct here.
Yeah, they cook a lot of bacon.
They do.
They cook a lot of bacon. Now, I'll eat the crap out of the one on the left, too. I just like bacon.
I'll just pass on that, but a little chewy.
I mean, you really don't like bacon, do you?
Not crazy about it, but if I'm going to eat it, I'm going to eat it chewy. I'm far more sausage. Like if I'm given, like if you order breakfast and the choices are bacon or sausage, I'm 100% sausage on that one, especially if it's sausage links. I like that much better than patties. But my power ranking goes sausage links, sausage patties, then bacon.
No country ham
really
in there?
Oh, country ham will be in front of bacon,
For a guy that likes to eat as much as you do, some of the great things that you don't like.
Well, but
like
those
peanut butter, onions, mayonnaise.
Not a great peanut butter, not a great, those three things I dislike.
Rod, it's okay, but I guarantee you, on special occasions like Mother's Day weekend, it better be on the menu or you won't get it. Back to yesterday's
is that
show.
where it was?
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew already.
That place has gone down.
Walked down to heartbeat.
Yep.
Our friends at Johnson RV bringing you that tour down Bacon World. Clay Travis due up next. Tell us about Johnson RV. Brownie.
You call me mid-drink. I'm sorry. I-65, well, that's all that bacon is salty.
I think on replay I had started the toss to you before you started the drink.
Okay.
So.
Well, we're going to know because we'll go back just like we did lunch for my Oregon at 6 and 9.
Throw the red flag.
Dunaway will check and break.
Yep. All right. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They have repriced both those lots at Johnston RV Center. So confident that their pricing is the best anywhere in America. They'll beat a price from anywhere in America. You bring them a price on a comparable RV, they will beat it. Lowest price nationwide. Also, RV Warranty Forever gives you that lifetime warranty on anything new or qualifying used at Johnston RV Center. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. And always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Visit nextroundlive.com today. It's free, unless you haven't paid your internet bill. So go ahead and pay that, and then it's free. Heck, you can pull out your phone and go to nextroundlive.com right now, where you'll find all the free content that you can stomach. Unless you haven't paid your phone bill, then you need to pay that, and then you can enjoy all the free content NextRoundLive.com is so rewarding that it should be behind a paywall, like Lance's Lock. So in summary, play Lance's Lock. Then you'll have enough money to pay your bills and go to NextRoundLive.com, where you're always at your happiest, for free.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, another hour. Clay Travis standing by. We'll get right to him, but we do have another release. This is now NFL. Browns team gets he loves these Thursday night games.
I do. I like the off-Sunday games. Lance disagrees with me, but I like it when my team plays off of Sunday. Buffalo and Miami, your first Amazon game of the year. What I don't like about this is it's in Hard Rock, which means we have to go to Buffalo at the end of the year when it's snowing.
Oof, yeah.
I like it the other way when Buffalo comes and plays in the heat in December. Buffalo at Miami, your first Amazon Thursday, not your first Thursday night game. Your first Thursday night game is obviously the NBC game, but the first Amazon Thursday night game, Buffalo at Miami, September 12th, 7:15 kick.
That's a good poll question for us. Like, do you like your team in primetime? I love Sunday games, 3 o'clock kicks. Those are by far my favorite. Not even close.
I like being able to watch Sunday without any stress. I get all the games on Sunday, and now I don't get any stress.
I think I like mine. It's going to be rare now because we're trending back down again to being average. But I like mine to be the America's game, the 3 o'clock kick.
Yeah,
where
that's my favorite
most of the country have.
I mean, I think we could do a poll question because I'm really interested to see if people like their team standalone prime time.
We did also find out the first Monday night football games, Jets at 49ers. That was announced earlier this morning. So we know
Aaron Rodgers will try to make it through this one.
That's right. We know Ravens at Chiefs, Packers Eagles. That's Thursday night, Friday night. The big afternoon game on Sunday, CBS, Cowboys at Browns. The first Monday night game, Jets at 49ers. And then your first Thursday night Amazon game, Bills-Dolphins. Those are the games we know right now.
Yeah, Cowboys-Browns, Clay Travis, will be the debut of Tom Brady if he actually makes it into the booth. Do you think Brady will be fantastic as an analyst or just average or not good at all?
I think he'll be good. I think the standard of expectation may be high for him. We've seen, honestly, a decent number of athletes call games at this point. Some of them are good. Most of them are just okay. Drew Brees, not very good. Jason Witten, not that good, right? Those are two very prominent guys who had Hall of Fame careers that have gone into the booth and found it more difficult than maybe would have anticipated. Romo came out of the gates really strong, but it seems like much of America has turned on Romo of late. I thought that Greg Olson was really pretty fantastic and very good at it. A big part of this, obviously, is your relationship with the guy that you're calling the game with. And I actually thought that, maybe you could tie in Brady's evolution here based on the roast that happened. I don't know if you guys watched the Netflix roast, but it felt like to me it was Brady saying, he had sort of the reputation of a marble man, a guy who didn't say very much and kind of kept out of the radar for much of his career in New England. And obviously that's not going to cut it in the booth. But Fox, look, has been pretty good at the people that they have put in the booth. Obviously, I know the execs at Fox Sports very well and who's involved in production of games and everything else there. And Fox has typically done a pretty good job of putting the right people in the booth at the right time. I mean, you guys know Joel well. Nobody knew Joel Klatt when he started at FS1 and worked his way up to being the lead college football announcer on the broadcast for Big Fox. You guys tell me, I can't think of anybody that Fox has put in the booth that has failed. They do a pretty good job of rundowns and analysis of prep and everything else for those games. And I think as a result, Fox so far hasn't had anybody whip. So I think
that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you didn't like Greg Olsen, Lance. I thought he was good.
He's grown on me. I mean, it seemed like the Rams had, and that was a big game. But Greg Olsen and God, what's the dude's name?
Kevin Burkhardt.
Yeah, Kevin Burkhardt. Yeah.
Who I believe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think I honestly do not pay a lot of attention to the drama of who's calling games. I know it's a huge, sort of discussion point, but I think Fox, you guys can look it up to make sure I'm right on this, but I think Burkhardt will stay, and he is very, very good, and be paired alongside now of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I think Brady will be good. I really do.
So watching on ESPN right now, and they were showing highlights of Game 4, the Celtics and the Cavs, and we see LeBron courtside, and we were talking about this, Clay. I can't imagine if the Rams got eliminated in the playoffs and then Stafford's in Detroit for a Lions game. I just think it's a weird look. I mean, and LeBron just continues to baffle. Have we seen this before? Like anybody else do that?
I think LeBron is the most insecure star athlete that maybe any of us have ever seen in our lives.
Well, Kevin Durant's got to be right there, right?
Yeah, but look, Kevin Durant, maybe, but Kevin Durant is single. And I don't, I have a friend who has opined that if a guy never gets, I'm curious how you guys would break this down. If a guy never gets married, sometime or by the age of 50, ever, I'm not talking about divorced, I'm not talking about, if he never gets married and he never has kids, and he gets over the age of 50, the guy starts to kind of spiral because he doesn't have any anchors in his life, anything that is, sort of keeping him normal. He's not having to make a random, play to go take his fourth grader to. He's not having to ever go through pickup lines. And you become so selfish and not normal that you really start to kind of spiral. And I think there's a lot of truth to it, honestly. 50 is probably being generous because that's like a New York City and L.A. Sort of concept where guys stay single longer. I think that's being very generous. I don't know how many guys are in Birmingham that are 50 and never married and have no kids. I would bet that number is probably 40 years old in Birmingham, where you start to notice, man, this guy's kind of getting into some weird quirks because there's nobody else there, no other responsibilities in his life. My point on that is that LeBron, to me, seems like he should be very well balanced, right? He's had a high school sweetheart. He's got whatever it is, 3 kids. He actually seems like sort of a sitcom dad, but he seems always so uncomfortable, and it's like he's trying to do too much. He didn't even, LT, go sit courtside at the Cavs game. He had a full bottle of wine with him. Like, did you see that? Like, that's a super weird thing to do. It's like, it's not even a big enough story that I'm sitting courtside. It's that I'm also going to bring a full bottle of wine with me and drink it courtside. Have you ever, like in a wine, like can you even bring glassware like that close to the basketball court? I mean, the ball could, it's like super weird. And, we were having this discussion, like Nick Saban just decided to retire and he didn't tell anybody. And then he didn't want to have like the prolonged goodbye. Everybody would have made a big deal of Nick Saban, right? And even the road games, certainly they would have done an unbelievable goodbye to Nick Saban at Tuscaloosa. It would have overshadowed the entire season. It would have been all about him, right? And ultimately, it doesn't surprise me that Nick Saban's like, no, the way he did it is the way that I would expect Nick Saban to do it. I've seen some people being like, well, LeBron might just retire. And I'm like, are you kidding me? LeBron's going to give like a 2-year notice of when he's going to retire. And he's going to go through like the unbelievable, ridiculous sort of goodbye that requires everybody to take note of him. And I've always just thought it seemed kind of pathetic and sad. And I don't know where it comes from, but I think that's why LeBron's not particularly liked, right? I mean, he should be. He's a really good basketball player. Even his venture into the political universe, it seemed like all of this, like a desperate ploy to be liked. And I don't know that we've ever seen an athlete like that. I think that's the biggest difference between Jordan and LeBron. I don't think Jordan particularly cared what anybody thought of him. And guess what? That's actually when people tend to like you more, if you've got a friend who is so insecure that they're always like, seeking your approbation, it's kind of exhausting. And I think that's kind of LeBron writ large. He's like the kid that never really can be happy because I'm getting psychoanalytical, but he needs that attention to give himself meaning almost. And it's just funny. I mean, look, your point is I can't even think of anybody else doing this, right? Like going and sitting courtside after you got eliminated from your season.
Yeah, it's taboo for. Yeah, Clay.
Can you imagine Jordan doing this, like going and sitting courtside for a random, semifinal conference game after his team got eliminated? It's just kind of an insult, I think.
Yeah,
I don't like NFL players don't go to the Super Bowl until they play in one.
Right,
they pass in their tickets.
Yeah, or they might go, but they're going for like the parties that surround it, like the social activity. But the idea that you would be sitting like on the front row with a huge bottle of wine, drawing a massive amount of attention to yourself, is just weird. And I think ultimately what this is about is LeBron has the need to feel wanted, and a lot of people in LA are like, fine if he moves on because the Lakers are not close to winning a championship. I think it's actually being under-discussed that LeBron's son is nowhere near draft-worthy, and he's just going to basically bully a team into drafting him because he's LeBron and he thinks his son should be able to play in the NBA beside of him, which is, again, it just all feels very artificial. This is the thing about LeBron. He just doesn't feel, to me, comfortable in his own skin, and everything is like, I definitely imagine LeBron going home after that Cavs game and sitting in his room, like going through and reading all the mentions that people had about him sitting courtside, and he's 40. It just seems like a weird thing for a 40-year-old man to be doing.
Outkick founder Clay Travis with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Dunaway thinks Caitlin Clark's debut game tonight on ESPN2 will, in the ratings, in just terms of total audience, beat the Knicks-Pacers game, which will be going head-to-head on TNT. To put this in perspective, real quickly, Friday night's Knicks-Pacers game on ESPN had 4.5 million viewers. Sunday, Mother's Day, Knicks-Pacers, a blowout on TNT, had 5 million viewers. And what is the record for a WNBA game?
The WNBA record is 5 million viewers set 27 years ago.
So this would break the WNBA record, and if it gets 5 million, there's a good chance it beats Knicks-Pacers tonight.
So my question would be, and I'm not an expert on the ESPN2 ratings, has any ESPN2 sporting event this year gotten more than 5 million viewers?
My guess would be no.
My guess would be no.
I can't think
of.
So
I think it being on ESPN2 is actually still kind of a significant issue because people stumble across things accidentally on ESPN, right? There's lots of guys who just come home, put their feet up, and just put it on ESPN because they're sports fans and they kind of have as the default, hey, there's going to be a game on ESPN tonight. I don't know that many people who are like, hey, I'm going to check ESPN2. To me, this is actually an interesting. It's a great question. I actually think there may be more people that watch the Caitlin Clark debut. I mean, there are way more people who care about Caitlin Clark than care about the Knicks or the Pacers. Based on what we've seen in recent history in terms of ratings, right? Like, what is 20 million, 15 million? I can't even remember what the number was. Was it 16.9 million? Watched the Iowa versus South Carolina.
Yeah, it was a large audience.
Now, it was on ABC, so you're basically saying, will 1/3 of those people be willing to tune in and watch? And I don't know. There's nothing else really going on. It's a really great debate. I think it's almost like a perfect question because I could make a really strong argument either direction. I'll take Caitlin Clark's going to do better, but I think the disadvantage is not necessarily the WNBA because certainly nobody cares about the WNBA historically. But I think the bigger issue is ESPN2. I think if this were on ABC, it would trounce it.
Two quick questions.
I was just shocked that they set the record 27 years
That's
ago
crazy.
in viewership. Yeah. I didn't know the WNBA was around for 27 years.
I will say this.
Well, that is funny, but I bet if you go back and look at that, Dunaway, I think some of the highest-rated women's basketball games historically were actually paired with the Olympics. So they had an incredible lead-in audience. where you're able. I think the most watched women's basketball game of all time is an Olympic basketball game that was paired with a really important Olympic event. I mean, it's a women's Olympic event, but it was like, I don't know, gymnastics leading into the women's basketball. So 27 years of WNBA viewership. Caitlin Clark certainly going to make a big difference for them, I think.
Clay, quickly, limp bacon or crispy bacon, and would you rather watch your Titans in prime time or on a Sunday?
Well, first of all, limp first is the opening word. I had no idea where that was going. Maybe if you ask that question of somebody else, start with crispy bacon as opposed to limp and then pause for a sec. I'm going to go crispy, no doubt. And the question on the Titans?
Would you rather have the Titans play on a regular Sunday kick, or would you rather have prime time?
Yeah, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night.
But now I don't have to get up as early, and I bet your answer now that you guys don't have to get up as early is different than it otherwise would be too. But it used to be I'd rather have the regular game. Now I would rather have the primetime game. It's something unique, and you can look forward to it. By the way, what do you guys think about Alabama on the road, big noon kickoff? Yeah. I don't know if you guys talked about it, 11 a.m.
No, we had assumed all summer that's where it would be. When you look at the rest of the Big Ten, Big 12 schedule, there was nothing that rose to that level, and it's a chance for Fox to show Alabama, which is going to get them a good number. It's the first game where Kalen DeBoer is going to, have a shot at losing a game. Those first two games, he's probably not going to lose. So, I mean, there's a lot of storylines there. Alabama going to Wisconsin, I thought it was a no-brainer for Fox.
Dunaway, did you see what the line is for the Alabama at Tennessee game?
Alabama by a bazillion? What is it?
No.
Tide -2. Those trucks. Pretty even, buddy. I'll take you right now if you want to take me.
Oh, I love that. Last time you said that, Alabama won a national championship, I think. I think we were during the pandemic because we sent out two trucks.
Dominated in the first half. It led for 6 straight quarters against Alabama. I think Tennessee's going to beat Alabama by double digits in Knoxville, but you get 2 points right now. That's the line. You've got to take Tide -2.
Oh, I love that. What do we have on that? How much? What do we have on that?
What do you think we said? A big steak, like a nice steak dinner.
Okay, that's right. Nice steak dinner.
Effective overlap of a hometown.
Are we going to lock that in? Because once Alabama plays a lot better down the stretch, that number, are we locking it in -2?
Yeah, -2 for you. Alabama -2. As we lock this in, I am looking at my Nico autographed helmet, which recently I received as a thank you for the money that I've donated to the Volunteer Athletics NIL Fund. So I think Nico over under 5 touchdowns total as well. I think.
Wow, I'd take that under.
Yeah, that's a big number.
I can't wait to blow my cigar smoke in your face at Neyland that night. That'll be fun.
I think you might have to leave at halftime because it's going to be such a beatdown.
I'm not Lance. I'll be there at the end.
You might be back in Birmingham by the time the game is.
I hang around in Knoxville and make sure Kalen DeBoer gets off the field.
Well, just try to keep players from punching sorority girls.
That's right. He's in the NFL now. Clay Travis, Fox, and Outkick. Thank you very much, Clay. Have a great week.
All right, y'all too.
He cut me off. I was just going to tell you to get better-looking sorority girls.
Wow. Clay is on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
All right, that's Clay Travis there. By the way, that was my plan until I met Maggie. I had no plan
sorority
to ever.
girl?
No, I had no plan to ever get married.
You couldn't be more selfish than you are now, though.
No, but he was. It's true, but he was trashing like 50-year-olds who.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Married.
Look, to each their own. It's not normal, though. I mean, how many? Like, I'm trying to think to myself, a friend that has never been married that doesn't have kids that is 50 or older.
Can you imagine?
I know 1, 2.
Yeah, it is somewhat uncommon. The one I know plays golf literally every day.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the rumors about me being at my age now, never have been married? With my
we would say you were gay
with my emotional state right now,
yeah,
and my desire to start a book club with E.G. and Taylor.
And if you're like Brown walking around barefoot everywhere
just for 15 minutes a day.
Yesterday, Brown, I think 9 times said, as I've always said, like you've invented this walking around barefoot thing.
No, I've not invented it.
Yeah, people have been walking around barefoot.
I mean, John McClane did it. It's what got him in trouble in Die Hard.
You can find his shoes there.
But I didn't say I had invented it when I brought it. I said literally, Jennifer and I watched a documentary about it. Yeah. And I had some guy on Twitter yesterday basically calling me an idiot for believing it. And I'm like, okay, if I'm wrong, I'm walking around outside in my yard for 15 minutes. I mean, I'm not taking a pill.
Yeah.
I'm not doing like some sort of experimental drug. I'm walking around barefoot in my yard.
Maybe it goes back to when I was a kid walking barefoot in the grocery store, but I've always been a barefoot guy.
Yeah, well,
I'm not.
Like when we walked to.
I wasn't before.
When we walk to our pool in our complex,
Yeah.
I don't put on anything. I just walk. I walk out there. When I walked my car to clean it out the other day, I just walked barefoot down to the.
You need to get in the yard though.
Jason and Jack were blown away that I had flip flops on this weekend.
I was blown away at the beach when you wore them to the beach that day. I was like,
I mean, it's a tough spot. You hate flip flops. What are you supposed to wear to the beach?
Crocs. You should have gone Crocs.
I had an issue yesterday, and this is where you run into. Like I was out chipping golf balls on your soccer fields there at Asbury. Well, yeah, we had soccer practice.
Chipping, not pitching this time.
Aren't you the coach?
I was the coach in one game. I'm undefeated. No, but I was chipping golf balls out on your soccer field, but it was too wet for me to go barefoot. I was going to get my feet all muddy. So that's the conundrum there. You know, when you've had bad weather.
Yeah. Jim McMahon plays golf barefoot.
He does.
So do you think if it wasn't for Maggie, you would still be single?
If I had not met Maggie Dunaway at the time, Maggie Hahn, I would still be single. 100.
She's your one.
She was the one.
Yep.
Do you know anybody that's never been married or doesn't have kids?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the top. Not at my age. No.
I mean, I did think for a minute Rocky might be that guy.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it was very fair. I was one of those ones, like, I did not mind being alone.
Yeah, when Rocky told us.
And there was no field for me to play on. I was just literally alone.
I'll never forget, like, the first time Rocky brought Nancy to our house, Jennifer was like, they are in love. I was like, baby, Rockstar is never getting married. I was like, that ain't going to happen.
That Christmas party.
Yeah. That was the Christmas party.
That was all the girls were talking about.
I know. She was like,
I was in the kitchen with them.
We were all. It was at my house, and she's like, I see the way they look at each other. They are in love. I was like, baby, you can make this something that it is not, but Rockstar is not getting married. She's like, you wait and see. I know this.
Then she popped out a cord. Yep.
Yes, she did.
Not in that
but
order.
You did get married before.
Yeah, you got hitched before you had a kid. She didn't have a biscuit.
Found out we were pregnant the day we launched the show. The day we launched the show, we found out we were pregnant.
So,
and 703 shows later.
When your dad hosted that party for us downtown, that was the day y'all found out you were pregnant?
Yes, that was when we drove separate cars because she was working that night.
Yeah.
And I had to walk her to her car, and I was like, look, I got to go to the bathroom. Something's going on here. And I sped home. She always said, if I ever get pregnant, I'm going to do something that's going to be so creative to how to tell you. Because she was going to do something on the show. I think she said she was going to do it on the viewing menu, like what's on tonight or something like that. But she had this plan. But so I had to rush to the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom at the house. She comes in. She's being weird. And then she says, like, I'll talk to you about something. I'm like, oh, just tell me. And she goes, okay, I'm pregnant. And I was like,
so you're on the John when she told you?
Like, I'm sweating.
The most rock star moment ever.
And I get out, and she's like, I'm going to take another test just to make sure. I have another test. And we sat by her bathroom sink and looked at it. And I was like, this is the creative way you're going to tell me.
That was another one. When we were coming home from that party, Jennifer said, I think Nancy's pregnant. I was like, okay, I was wrong about him getting married.
Because she didn't drink.
She did not drink wine that night. The party was at a wine bar, and she didn't drink wine.
Every time we go to my parents' house, my dad offers her some wine. So if she declines, it's always like, okay.
Got another one coming.
Look, Lunsford said Laurel was saying the same thing that whole night. I think she's pregnant. We were at a wine bar, and she wasn't drinking wine.
I think Laurel and I talked about it that night.
Probably so. So, what are you doing this summer?
Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama.
Use that stall. I'll use this stall.
Urology Centers of Alabama. Sometimes I go by there just to remember I'm a guy. Urology Centers of Alabama.
We're just as surprised as you are, Mr. Dunaway.
When's the last time you pissed on a stick?
This one's got an Audi.
Maggie's like, it might be going down again. Here's a stick.
Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama schedule an appointment. As you get a little older, you see I can just see all the out of context Taylors sending out today.
Jeez.
Urology Centers of Alabama. Your health is so important. Stay on top of that. 205-930-0920, 930-0920, urologycentersofalabama.com. The website, 16 locations. Prostate health, the kidney stones, and everything in between. Go check it out with our friends at UCA.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Back with you on The Next Round as we continue on. A couple things to get to before the hour and the show is up. One more hour still to go, but we're down to about, 90 minutes left in the show. Still want to talk about 11 o'clock kicks when we hate that. Still want to talk about the breakout player in the Auburn running back room, according to the Village Vice guys. We'll get to that right after I tell you about the fine folks at the University of Montevallo. Montevallo.edu. Schedule that in-person tour right now. We've helped out Montevallo so much over the last few years. Glad to have done that, to help out the fine folks down there at this great liberal arts school. They're about to open a nursing school there, great theater department, multi-million-dollar theater department, and so much more at the University of Montevallo. You can apply now, montevallo.edu, and also schedule an in-person tour right there at Montevallo. 23 NCAA Division II fully funded scholarship sports. Some of you never heard of Montevallo, so we started talking about it, right? Montevallo.edu. Schedule that in-person tour and find out more as your son or daughter get older. Montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu. All right, 11 o'clock kicks. Why do we hate it? And I don't mind them, but our viewers and listeners hate them.
I wonder, because this is a Southern thing. Like, the Big Ten loves them. This is when the Big Ten wants to kick. Oklahoma, Texas loves it. That's when they want to kick that game, is 11 o'clock at the Red River Rivalry at the State Fair.
Both of them have it written in their contracts that is the preferred time. That's the ones that's when we're going to play the game.
I'm willing to say, and this is a bold statement, you'll never see Ohio State, Michigan other than at 11 o'clock ever again in the history of our life, or the future of our life. You'll never see it. Yeah, 11 o'clock. Why would they That's where they want it. Why would they play other than 11 o'clock?
Well, I mean, they've played at 2:30. I can't remember a prime time.
That was when ABC was like, we want you at 2:30.
I'm a
but
little
now that Fox has
surprised
the deal.
because, my theory behind it is people that like to have a big social weekend and like to party, tailgate, night before, that kind of stuff, they don't want the 11 o'clock. And that seems like Ohio State and Michigan fans.
Yeah, but
that's the reason, like, when I look at us possibly going to Camp Randall, I'm like, damn, boy, that's getting up early on Saturday to do a full day. I would rather it be prime time that night.
Yeah,
Billy writes in, we are the JP game of the week.
That's why that was going to be my theory on this, because the Big Ten loves 11 o'clock kicks. Ohio State, Michigan, that's where they want that kick. I think we got conditioned early on with the TBS game and the Jefferson Pilot game that's where you put your worst game.
Oh, I don't think that's it.
Keith,
what do you think it is?
I really think it's people like, if you're going to Tuscaloosa or Auburn, you don't want that quick, abbreviated tailgate. You want to be able to tailgate. You want to have a game on, whether it's 2:30 or a 6 o'clock kick. You get to hang out. You get to talk about the game all day. You had that build-up. And people don't want to get up that early after, hanging out on Friday night.
Back to your point, Brown. Keith, this is a prime time worthy game. See, we put value that it's prime time worthy.
That's old thinking, though. That is not. And I know what Keith's saying. That is not current day thinking. It doesn't matter where you put it.
Corey, as someone who will actually be at the game, I hate this. I
always think about Texas, Oklahoma at 11 o'clock and how those people are out all night before. And I've had this conversation with our friend Chip Brown, and people go to the stadium and they're sweating their ass off.
And then they go to the fair.
Yeah, I just, 11 o'clocks are tough, man.
Kevin says, I spend $2,000 a year, my part on the tent and a parking space. We spend a lot of money on tailgating and fellowship with friends. 11 a.m. ruins all that.
Yep.
But that's a home game. This is a road game.
Yeah, I don't understand the road game issue with it. I would think road game, you don't really care.
The road game, again, I think you're up exploring that town the night before and you're up late.
Yeah.
And let's just say that, midnight's not late for a lot of people, but let's say you're up till midnight. What time do you have to get up to get everything rolling for an 11 o'clock game?
Like, is there a chance the Big Ten fans do their tailgate after the games?
I don't know. Charlie is right there. As a lifelong Michigan fan, I live for my 11 a.m. game.
That's Big Ten thinking. They
Charlie,
love it.
you tell me. Do you tailgate after games up there
and
at
just
the Big House?
watch the rest of the country, because the vast majority of your Big Ten games are 11 o'clock. I mean, you're not even watching the rest of your conference now. That's going to change with USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington coming in. You're going to have a lot more later Big Ten games now.
Charlie, do Michigan fans go to the parking lot after their 11 o'clock kick and
just
watch the 2:30 SEC game and cheer against them?
Guess you would have to, right?
Cheer for injuries?
Cheer for a stadium collapse?
I don't know how you guys feel. I think going to a tailgate after the game is such a different feel than the tailgate before.
I agree.
And I think it's so hollow. Still do it, but it's just not the same buzz.
No, the better buzz for the tailgate is pregame. There's no doubt about it. I mean, me personally, the best atmospheres I've ever been in are night games. Like, if you say, list the best home field atmospheres you've ever been in, I think they're almost exclusive. Well, there's some Iron Bowls that have been 2:30 kicks. That's going to be the thing, is some of those 2:30 Iron Bowl kicks.
Some Alabama LSU slid into a 2.
Yeah, but
there was one 2:30. The Trump game was a 2:30.
It was, where President Trump was there, was a 2:30 game. But
I don't know if that makes my top 10 because Alabama lost.
Yeah, most of them would be night games, though. Most of the atmospheres, Jordan-Hare Stadium, Tiger Stadium, even Bryant-Denny Stadium, some of those LSU games that were primetime games at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yep.
But the Iron Bowls are different. It's 2:30.
Yeah, but
so some of those will sneak in there.
It's a late year 2:30, second half's at night.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like a night game at the end. There's no doubt.
Sunsetting in the at halftime and then night game at the end.
Yeah, but I far prefer the night games.
G. Curbo says Auburn, Georgia will be a night game. It may be. I'm just telling you.
I haven't looked at the schedule.
That ABC, ESPN will put games that you think should be 2:30 or prime time. We'll put some of those games at 11 o'clock.
We just saw it with the announcement, Clemson and Georgia. There's no way I thought that'd be an 11 a.m. kick.
But there are some people who will say that's going to be a Georgia blowout. So I don't want to put that in prime time because it's going to be a blowout.
But it's also going to be potentially your number one team in the country. And you say how important that is.
Well, against potential number 9 or 10 team in the country.
It's a top 10 matchup probably.
And what is the prime time that night?
Texas A&M, Notre Dame, which may even involve an unranked team. I think A&M will be ranked, don't you guys?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be close. I had them at 25.
And the point spread says that's going to be a good game. I don't know if it will be or not. I guess it will be. Or
I mean, I
going to
would
be a
have
close
flipped these
game.
things. I mean, Florida-Miami should be a really close game, too.
But, I mean, that's...
I mean, if you're looking at one as far as point differential, it probably is Clemson, Georgia.
Yep. That's going to be the bigger blowout. But that's a good day of TV. All those on ABC, which is what I can't when we get more releases. That's, are all the good games going to be on ABC?
Patrick says 11 o'clock kicks are great when your team wins, and you can sit back the rest of the day and be happy. What if your team loses?
No, it's the worst because you see highlights of that every halftime of every game you're watching the rest of the day.
Don't forget earlier today, the big upset.
Field Rush in College Station.
Yeah, very strange that I like my USC games in prime time, and I really like them at 9:30, to be honest with you.
More.
The late night is where you like USC, like the last night, the last game of the night.
I don't blame you. I like when USC plays there too, and I'm not a USC fan. I like that uniform playing a late game. Chance to cheer for one more upset before I went to bed back in the day. Tell us about Dr. B, and I'll let you hear from the Village Vice guys over at War Damn Pods about a sleeper they think will come out of the Auburn running back room this year.
So when we started this venture almost 3 years ago, hair started to thin out a little. Asked around, Dr. Beckenstein is a name everyone mentioned. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. Hair has more than doubled in thickness since that first consultation. Brown went in a couple of weeks ago. He has started his treatment as well. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316. Tell his staff the Next Round sent you. Ask about that consultation. T3hair.net for more information.
Okay, so the Village Vice is part, if you haven't caught on in a year, over at War Damn Pods. Easy link there at Disrupt the Media, our YouTube channel there. And you can get it also off of the Next Round YouTube channel. Just find the button there, hit the button for War Damn Pods. Village Vice is Zach Blackerby and Brad Law. They put this out a couple of times a week, and they were discussing Jeremiah Cobb as the breakout running back.
If Jeremiah Cobb is to benefit and break out, how does that happen? Because from a math standpoint, you'd have to think if Jeremiah Cobb is the breakout player in the running back room, he's probably taking touches from Damari Austin, Brian Batty, and maybe even a few from Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah, I think it has to be. And I think you look at Hugh Freeze's history at this level. And so I'll be surprised if Auburn has a single 1,000-yard rusher this year. Because I think the pass attempts are going to go up. The percentage of pass plays will go up a little bit. And I think that his history, when he has multiple capable running backs, this offense calls for those guys to be used in a somewhat balanced way.
Yeah, much like, I hate to compare everything to Nick Saban, but he was a running back by committee kind of guy, unless you had a Derrick Henry. Or he liked to run committee running backs out there. Hugh Freeze has that history as well. And great point by Brad, more passes this year. Why? Because you have more playmakers at receiver.
Well, 2 things about Auburn's rushing attack last year. First of all, Jarquez Hunter only missed being a 1,000-yard rusher probably because he missed a game. He would have been very close had he not missed a game. He only had 12 games, but he rushed for 909 yards. So you can do the math, 75 yards a game. He was going to be very close to being a 1,000-yard rusher had he played the full slate. But in both, by a significant margin, in both rush attempts and rush yards, you guys know who Auburn's second leading rusher was last year.
Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, by a significant margin.
Which is interesting.
134 rush attempts. And Damari Austin had 64. 515 rush yards. Austin had 320. I mean, you can't ask for that out of Peyton Thorne again this year.
When you saw Cobb play, he was pretty good, though. The debut against UMass, he had that one big long run. He played well against LSU, scored a touchdown in the bowl game. But when you look at his numbers in high school, how about this? In 50 career games, over 6,500 rushing yards and 75 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, he was incredible.
That was one of the first video games that came out in the 80s where it was just the red dot and you had to keep running it.
Oh, yeah. It's
moving it throughout the field, and it would go back, keep going, and eventually when you did it enough, it would be
touchdown.
Yeah.
It was the original was like a tan one, and then they came up with the dark green one that was kind of like the advanced version. But I used to love playing that coming back from the beach at night.
That's right. It was just a red dot, and you were moving. You didn't touch the other red dots. That's those kind of numbers there. 75 touchdowns and that kind of rushing yards. So Troy Jeremiah Cobb's a burner, can fly. You can go see the entire episode of The Village Vice right there at War Damn Pods. When we come back, we will get to our 4 downs today and more college football talk. Precision Sports will get you back in the game. LT's got a pickleball itch right now. He's going to go out and play. If he hurts his back or tweaks a knee or something,
I don't know if I'd call it an itch, but
he's got an invite.
He's going to play pickleball at some point. Precision Sports gets you back in the game. If you're dunking on the 9-foot goal with the kids, or maybe you're out running or working in the yard, whatever you're doing, you get hurt, the folks with Brookwood Baptist Health and Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics get you back into the game. 205-512-3885. 512-3885 from Jasper to Alabaster and all over the Birmingham metro area. You get absolutely great care with Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. They've helped me several times. They've helped LT as well. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. Orthopedic care better together with Precision Sports.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
New pennant race is out with Josh and EG. Braves won last night 2-0 over the Cubs. Zach Short in for Austin Riley with the game big hit double in the sixth. 6:20 tonight, Cubs and Braves again. Interesting stat. In 1975, starting pitchers went past 6 innings 70% of the time. 70% of the time into the 7th inning, starting pitchers went.
I don't know when a pitch count started. Like, I would assume that they still did pitch counts back then, but the numbers were a lot different.
Do you have the percentage now?
That number is less than 40% now.
Yeah, so
make it into the 6th inning.
Not surprised.
Well, it's become far more specialized. There's no doubt about that.
10 active Cy Young winners still pitching right now.
Oh.
9 of them have been on the injured list this year.
Wow.
This year.
Yeah. I mean, there's speculation about, the throwing motion everybody fell in love with, the flatter arm, has caused a lot of this. I don't know if they've done any studies or if there are any doctors like Dr. Andrews that come out and say that's actually the case.
Big story at The Athletic says that if they pitch deeper into games, they would manage the way they pitch, the velocity and everything different, knowing they had to go like you had to in the back in the day, that you had to go 7 innings, that's what you did as a starting pitcher. You went 7 innings, or you went 8 innings, or you went 9 innings. You wouldn't come out like the other day, Skeens threw 17 pitches over 100 miles an hour. You just didn't do that.
No.
You managed, it was a marathon of going out to starting pitch, and they were saying that maybe if they put a rule in that a starting pitcher had to pitch 6 innings, that they would manage their velocity, their velo, a little different. And
you think that'll be
it would be healthier?
Big ticket when, he had his debut this past Saturday against Cubs. He pitches this Friday in Wrigley. It's a day game. You think that'll be a big ticket?
I don't know.
Just to see Skeens, you think, is what you're saying?
Am I sitting behind or beside Livy Dunn?
I mean, I'm sure she'll be there.
I mean, could our friends at ATIX make that work?
Yeah, where's Livy?
Tell me where she's going to be.
I'd like to sit right next to Livy Dunn, if you can make that happen.
I bet Steve and Dan could figure that one out.
It says tickets as low as $8, so maybe not.
You're going to be a long way from Livy Dunn on that one. Woodhouse Day Spa gets you into that comfort zone, a little zen with Woodhouse.
Yeah, again, if you skipped out, you didn't get mom that Mother's Day present this past weekend.
It's a makeup gift now.
Yeah, you still got an opportunity to do it. You can just say it got caught up, lost in the mail, whatever. But the Woodhouse Day Spa, that is a great option for mom and for girlfriend, significant other. If you're listening, you want to treat your husband to this. Dunaway loves it. Choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, order that special person gift online 24/7. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Stop in, see Stuart and that incredible staff located right there at the Summit Shopping Center. Tell them the next round sent you. Again, for more information, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
It's only soccer, but I'm going to say this now. I'm going to use soccer as just a question on what you would do in this situation as a fan, if it's football, NFL, Major League Baseball, basketball, whatever. But it's soccer. I'll use this today. I'm a loose Tottenham Hotspur fan. Tottenham plays Man City today. 2 games left in the Premier League championship race. Tottenham's biggest rival is Arsenal. Arsenal's got 86 points. Man City's got 85. If Man City beats Tottenham today, they likely will go on to win the championship. If Tottenham beats Man City today, Arsenal, their biggest rival, likely goes on and wins the championship. Arsenal has won one in 2 decades. Do you cheer against your team to keep your rival from winning a championship?
No. I can't ever cheer against my team.
I can't either.
Yeah. There were a lot of people that were, if you'll remember, at the end of last season, I faced this when Miami was hosting Buffalo on the last game of the regular season. And if Miami lost, they go to Kansas City. If they win the division, but they host Buffalo again the very next week. Everybody's like, you don't want to play the Bills right now. Go to Kansas City. I'm like, I'm not cheering against my team. I mean, I'll take whatever comes. People are like, oh, you're an idiot. You definitely want to go play Kansas City. By the way, it turns out I didn't want to go play Kansas City either. But they were pretty good. But I just can't cheer against my team.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, there is some other things. Tottenham, if they win, they stay in the top 4, so they can be in the Champions, all the European tournaments, the Champions League and stuff. If they lose, they can be as far down as 7. people get fired if you finish in 7th. So a lot to play for today, 2 o'clock USA.
The way I look at it, I should have done something about it.
That's right.
If it's my rival that's going to win, I had every opportunity to stop them. I didn't do it.
Yeah, the toughest spot, like for Auburn fans, when Georgia played Alabama twice for the national championship.
Yeah, that's the tough one.
That's tough because I don't know who you pull for in that situation. Have you watched the Beckham documentary yet?
I have not. No.
I'm surprised you hadn't watched that.
I'm watching right now Florida Man.
Yeah, you
on
told
Netflix.
me that.
How's it going?
It's a little cheesy. I'm interested if has anybody been watching Florida Man.
I watched the first 30 minutes about a year ago, and
It's been out that long?
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
It queued up. It's a scripted thing. It queued up right after Man on the Fall or whatever it was. Man and Fall.
Fall
the
Man.
other day. It was the next thing. So I
watched
clicked on
the
it.
Land of Saints and Sinners last night with Liam Neeson.
Was it good?
It was good. I mean, I thought it was really good, but if you want action, it doesn't really have a lot of action until the end. It's a good story though. Good acting.
A little before we do the college basketball schedules that was released. Great Osobor. It's $2 million plus. $2 million is the minimum he's going to get. The kid who signed with Washington.
Yeah, I cannot figure this
in
out.
NIL money.
Yep.
And I saw the equivalent of that. It's the equivalent of what the 30th overall pick in the first round of the NBA draft will make.
Yeah.
Is what he's making.
Well, that was probably the bar. Like, okay, you might be able to go. You might slide in the first round. We will give you what that guarantee is at the back end of the first round.
So he's
and
making,
I would rather have that guarantee.
Oh, I had too. And stay in college, you mean?
Yeah,
me too.
He's making the first round, the end of the first round, money to play at Washington. Crazy
Which I
number.
still can't figure out how this makes sense for Washington. It's just
it doesn't add up to me either.
It doesn't add up at all. Again, if this were Kansas doing this and this kid are good enough to get that at Kansas or Duke, or I can figure it out. But Washington, this makes no sense to me.
By the way, Zach Edey should not have gone to the NBA Combine. He lost an inch, first off. He's 7'3".
He's coming up on 4 downs.
He's shrinking?
He's 7'3" and slower than Christmas.
Oh, I saw the 40.
I mean, if you've watched his tape, you can tell he's slow.
Well, we're not handing it off to him.
I
though.
know,
mean,
but he should have just rested on his tape and his lore and not even gone to this Combine. I'd have just sat there. He looked horrible yesterday.
I don't know what the personality is of Zach Edey. But, if they think maybe he's personable, would say the right things, general manager falls in love with him, I don't know.
He was in a tough spot, though. I mean, he can't make NIL money, so the NBA was always going to be his only option, but he doesn't really translate well into the NBA game.
Crazy. The guy's drafted in the 80s. He goes number 1 overall. Now there's a good chance he's not even in the lottery.
But he could be – he's one of those guys that it could have made a lot more sense to stay. Scott's showing the 40. Is that the 40 they're running, or are they just linked to the court or what?
It's whatever they time there.
It doesn't look like 40 yards. I don't know what he's running, but it's slow.
Yeah.
I guess linked to the court.
I say it's slow. There's a good chance that if I was deciding, he'd beat me.
Yeah, he'd beat you. He just looks unathletic doing it. But there again, I mean, we're not.
Do you think Dunaway's going to like Carl Lewis?
I'm not
just gliding.
But I'm not dumping it to Zach Edey on 3rd and 8. I'm not dumping it to him in the flat. I mean, he's going to stand in the paint and they're going to dump the ball down.
It's just weird, like if you're a head coach and if you coached in the 70s or 80s, you missed your window on making big money.
That's right.
He missed his window.
He did.
Like reversal.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have crushed it.
No,
back in the day.
if he came along in the Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon, that's what you're saying. Ralph Sampson.
Yeah.
If he'd have come along in that group, he would have made all kinds of money.
Somebody to bang on Kareem down the floor. The other team would have taken him. Flasherby says Bronny killed it yesterday. That was the report that Bronny James. I don't know if any of them are on LeBron's payroll, but NBA insiders who were covering the Combine said Bronny James killed it.
He's going to jump up to that Lakers first-round pick now.
Any chance there was a message from LeBron's people? Anybody that says he didn't kill it,
I'm not talking to you
there's no access anymore.
He's working his way up to that Lakers first-round pick.
Speaking of entertainment, I got a text from our buddy Luganville last night. Have you seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? No, I have not, Tom.
Those
he
movies,
was like, it is incredible.
Oh, is it 2 a year? 2 a year they kick out Planet of the Apes, Lunsford? Is it 2 a year they kick out? No, they mandated to have 2.
It's been like a decade since the last one, but sure.
That's BS. That is BS. Since the last Planet of the Apes genre-like movie.
Yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes. I don't remember what year exactly, but it was 2017. So
they kick out 2
years.
a year. Monkeys taking over the world movies.
Okay.
2 a year. Spring and fall.
That seems about right.
Okay.
I
7 years since the last one, but okay.
I went into to the back room where they filmed The Meltdown.
Yeah.
And
we call it Studio C.
Yeah, Studio C. So Tim and Lunsford are in there last week, and I asked him, I was like, are you guys going to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Oh, we already saw it last night. This was on like Thursday. And what did you guys say? Single solid base hit?
It's just barely a single. Like, you had to go to review to make sure you were safe.
That genre has never done it for me, though.
I agree with Tyler, if that's where you're reading, Brownie. AIDS, Transformers, and these King Kong movies, they've all got to stop.
They still do it for me.
They did do a Godzilla King Kong movie earlier, but that's it.
That's what Dunaway's thinking about.
Godzilla -1 was good.
It was very good.
Daniel, I am on Triple Threat Trivia tomorrow.
Uh-oh, who are you going up against?
I don't know. It's a surprise.
Oh, Lunsford, there's a surprise contestant?
Is this your
Two
debut?
surprise contestants.
Two?
Yeah.
Is this your first appearance?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
I'm only doing it for trivia.
They've had everybody else up here on already.
Damn, they
I
have.
know, but I have a belief about our other podcasts, like Uncorked and EG and The Meltdown. I think we don't need to inbreed enough. We have our own platform. I like it when they're on their own thing. I don't think we need to go over there and pollinate over there too.
So is that why you think they waited?
Well, in that case, I'm not going to be here till like 1 every day.
Yeah, I know. I think we ought to do that. I think I'm the exact opposite of you.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I feel like when I'm on Uncorked, I influence Taylor too much. I like when Taylor's just being Taylor.
Is that why she didn't invite me back?
No, you've been on there twice.
You've done story time twice now.
Yeah, it's been really good.
I'm the one that's never been on Uncorked.
Basketball.
Gotta drink wine, Brown.
Basketball schedules released yesterday for Alabama, Auburn, and the rest of the SEC. No dates with these yet, but we see how the 18-game schedule is going to work out now. Here's the Alabama schedule. The home games, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Vandy. The road. Arkansas, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, and then home and homes with Auburn and Kentucky and Mississippi State. As always, Alabama gets the toughest schedule. Here's the Auburn home and home. For them, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU. Home's on the top. Is that right? Yeah, home on the top. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss State, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee.
And their home and homes are Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss.
Yeah, and then the away games at Kentucky, at Texas A&M pop a little bit there, at Ole Miss as well. But you get home and home with them. So the key there now is instead of 5 teams you play home and home with, only 3.
I kind of like that, honestly. I actually do. I feel like you get a more variety of a schedule. There were 10 games you already knew going in. It just feels like you're going to get more variety in this. Yeah. And obviously there are more teams, so there will be more variety.
You get 3 home and homes and the rest. Everybody plays everybody at least once, and that's the basketball schedule that was released yesterday. Just showing you how Oklahoma and Texas weaving their way into the league there now in basketball as well. Top of the hour when we come back. We continue the conversation, 4 downs, and a lot more on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at the Medical Minute. Johnston RV bringing you these. LT keeping our mind clear and right through the entire month of May as we bring awareness to our mental health.
Yeah, it's Men's Mental Health Medical Minute brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV. May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. According to a report, Mental Health in America, men appear to suffer with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, even substance abuse at rates similar to that of women, but less than half of men will seek treatment. The rate suggests that 1 in 10 will suffer, but less than half will seek treatment. If you're suffering from depression or anxiety, talk to your doctor today. Get in front of this. I got an email from one of our listeners yesterday. He said finally, after a rough year, his wife talked him into going to therapy. He said just completed his first session last week and feels much better just after 1 session. I'm telling you guys, very, very important to get everything right in your head. That is our Men's Medical Health Minute, brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
Yeah, Nick and the gang at Johnston RV dedicated to this as well. They bring you the Mental Health Minute. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They will beat any price on a comparable RV nationwide. That's the guarantee. JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com. They also love the United States military the way we do. You make this the greatest country in the universe. They give great discount to active duty and also veterans. So go see it. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Another hour of the show, the last hour of the show, brought to you by our friends at Champy's. World famous fried chicken. Brown, what would you get today at Champy's Chicken?
I would probably go with those chicken fingers. I have not had a good, big, thick, juicy chicken finger in quite a while.
Really?
I have not. I need to go get them from Sterling.
Love that there. What about
in fact,
you,
last
LT?
time I had one was the last time Sterling brought us lunch.
I say the same boring thing every time. I think I would go with a... Does he do a good burger? I've never had his burger.
No, he does not do burgers.
I bet he could be one, though.
You were there. We had the conversation.
What did he say? What did he say?
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think Sterling's belief is, when a chicken place is going downhill when they offer a burger.
Oh, wow. I was going to say we should come up with one for him.
I heard one of the best analogies about Iggy Azalea. It said Iggy Azalea to rap is like eating chicken fingers at a steakhouse.
That sounds like one of those Drake and
I've done it.
Lamar Kendrick diss tracks.
I don't know if you guys have listened how deep and dark that whole thing's getting.
No, I really have not.
Oh, I've gone and I haven't listened. I've read them.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The accusations have
That's what we did. We listened to diss tracks on the way home from the beach.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw somebody say, people talk about how silly diss tracks are. I think it was Andy Staples that said this. It was like, keep in mind, Leonard Skinner wrote one of the great diss tracks of all time in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah. To Neil Young?
Yeah, to Neil Young. I mean, that was basically a old school diss track back in the
Neil
day.
Young will remember. Southern man don't need him around.
They call him out during the song.
But I'm going to go to my staple. I'm going to go tamales, coleslaw.
ChampionsChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster, heading to or from the beach, just off that Alabaster exit. And our buddy Todd and his son swung by there and enjoyed the chicken coming back from our festival when we were down, music getaway that we had. It was really good. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling. Jared Goff got his contract. 4 years, $212 million, $170 million guaranteed.
It's amazing. I mean, he is the second highest paid quarterback now annually behind just Joe Burrow. And you look at what the Lions are doing. Penei Sewell was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Big contracts, locking down what they view as young talent and kind of the nucleus of this team. Look, they made the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1991. Jared Goff is a big part of that. He's got weapons all over the place now, too.
And now that we're coming out of paying for a championship with Tom Brady, the Buccaneers were able to sign Antoine Winfield, such a great safety, most highest paid safety in the league now. 4 years, $84.1 million, big for the Buccaneers. For the quarterback contracts, next up, they believe in some form of this fashion, Trevor Tua, Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott. And the belief is now that they keep kicking the can down the road on Dak Prescott, that now they are in a precarious situation with Dak Prescott, who may get $60 million a year, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons' contract coming up, that they may botch one or two of these guys and lose one or two of them. I mean, those are the three guys you need to keep to have a chance to win a championship. You need to build the franchise around those guys.
The best player in that grouping is Micah Parsons.
Yeah, CD's close.
Yeah, but Micah Parsons is the best player, but he's not a quarterback, right? So, I mean, you're going to lean more towards Dak, aren't you? But
yeah, this is the dilemma, though. If you're a Cowboys fan, like Dak is one of those quarterbacks we talk about when he's really good. He's borderline top 10. He's definitely a top half quarterback. But to me, I don't want to say the more important parts, but the better players are Parsons and Lamb.
Yeah, that's
you've
right.
got to have a quarterback.
But they're not quarterbacks, and that's the problem. I mean, that's what you run into in the NFL. And, with Tua, he is in the last year of his rookie contract, Jim. He's in that fifth year where you got to make this decision. And if you're Tua, you played 17, 18 games last year without injury, and you led the league in passing yardage. I mean, he did everything he needed to do. The one thing he hasn't done that I know y'all are itching to point out is win a playoff game. And had he done that by now, he'd already have the deal.
LT's got our 4 downs in just a second. I do want to point out that if you're waiting on the next big move of realignment in college athletics, we may have got a sign yesterday that it's just around the corner. Because we've seen the lawsuits of Clemson and Florida State, but what have we been waiting on, Brown? What school have we been waiting on?
We've been waiting on the smart guys, North Carolina and Duke.
North Carolina is the one. Duke, they bring.
Well, they were smart guys. I had to include them in the.
They bring credentials with them in basketball, but it is North Carolina you're watching. North Carolina's trustees now questioning the leadership of Bubba Cunningham, and the most outspoken trustee is Dave Boliak, who tells Brett McMurphy of the Action Network that he and a couple other trustees are advocating that North Carolina moves to, quote, a higher revenue league. There's only 2 of those.
Yes.
The Big Ten and the SEC.
Pretty easy to track, yeah.
And it's either restructure the ACC or we need to move to a higher revenue producing league. That is the straw in the camel's back right there. If you watch North Carolina, what happens now after their trustees are calling Bubba into question on his leadership and where they should go as an athletic department. North Carolina now starting to get a little itchy about maybe they should relocate. If North Carolina goes, realignment will happen.
I think the interesting thing would be if either one of those 2 higher revenue leagues, the Big Ten and the SEC, are like, we like North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, not so much because it feels like Clemson and Clemson and Florida State have wanted North Carolina as the drafting partner. But what if North Carolina jumps out and they're like, we're not crazy about your drafting partners.
I don't know if you have to have drafting partners anymore. I think it can be a la carte.
Like if you're North Carolina? I think they bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, Brett McMurphy with that report. You can go check it out. Brett McMurphy tweeting that from the Action Network. All right, slice now, 4 downs.
5 great locations. Get in and see the Bajai brothers. Tell them the next round sent you. The original location, Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. Now in Edgewood on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Local pizza, local ingredients. From the soul pie to the hot mama, you're going to absolutely love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
More playoff wins this year. Jared Goff or Kalen DeBoer?
Well, when you're the team everybody's in love with, and that will be the sexy pick in the NFC, everybody will talk themselves into saying Brock Purdy can't continue this. San Francisco can't do it this often. It's the Lions' time. They're finally going to make the Super Bowl. It just feels like when that happens to you in the NFL, it goes the other way for you. And vice versa in college football. Now Alabama's the team that nobody's going to talk about as much, right? And it just feels like that's where it sets up for Kalen DeBoer to have more than Jared Goff based on those two things.
You know, I saw you, and I think I don't know where you had Alabama.
I had them at 3.
You had them at 3. We had them at 4. No matter where you are in that final ranking, if Georgia is the SEC champion, you are hosting a playoff game. You're not in the top 4. Remember, the top 4 are conference champions, the way the thing is set. So that's an easier, relatively speaking, playoff game if you're not the SEC champion.
Yeah, I've got, based on those rankings, and you guys too, I've got Bama winning 2 playoff games.
So in other words, what you're saying is if you get the bye, you actually kind of get a tougher, you get a tougher first round game.
You're playing a higher seed that has won a game at that point. So the same way in the NFL, if you get a bye, you're going to play a better team than the first week. I'm going to go Alabama here.
Yeah, I would go Alabama too.
Second down.
One note, by the way, that I did not know. I'm sure you knew this, Brownie, because you know everything. But the playoff home games,
condescending.
It's always
playoff home games. The revenue doesn't go to the school.
It's 50-50, or
no? You pay for your expenses. That's it. Everything
it goes
else
back to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Sort of
like high school football, all that money goes to the playoff games. The home games go to the AHSAA after you take your expenses off the top.
Yeah, I mean, but they are the organization that's putting it on and putting all the money behind it, so it does make sense.
I know, but we were making such a big deal about those home games, and it's great for the economy and everything.
It is for the local economy. Well, I mean, the businesses around the stadium, that's one more home game. Go ask people in Tuscaloosa and Auburn what they think of a home football Saturday. They love it.
I'm just telling you, when we get to this, I mean, these big stadiums like in Tuscaloosa and stuff, Austin, Texas.
What about you? Don't think they'll be full for a playoff game?
I wonder for a December playoff game when it wasn't planned out.
You don't think so?
No, they will be.
I do. I think so too. You know the name, but look at the names that are be coming in there. Like the 5 seed. Well, 5 seed's bad because you get a 12 seed.
Okay, so if Alabama's the 5 seed in your rankings,
that's
where they would be.
100% sell it out. 100%. I don't care.
It'll be 5 seed versus the group of 5 team.
Yep.
Because you know what else you'll get there? If the college, and I'm going to assume this is the way it will work, if the college football playoff is running everything, all of a sudden Tide Pride or Tigers Unlimited doesn't matter. I bet the tickets go on sale from the college football playoff. So you've got your average fan who may not be able to get a good seat. Now I got a shot at getting a good seat at Bryant-Denny Stadium, or I don't have season tickets now. I got a shot at getting a ticket to Bryant-Denny Stadium.
And those people that used to have good seats are going to sit in the rafters, you think?
Well, I think they're probably going to pay premium.
Those are going to be sellouts at least for a couple of years.
Easy sellouts, especially when you're not the 5-12 game. When you're a 6-11 and it's going to be like Oregon playing host to Penn State, oh my gosh, that's going to be an easy sellout.
Yeah, that's Oregon 60,000. I was talking about the people that have 100,000.
If Penn State's coming to Alabama in December,
Penn State's different now. I was talking 5 seed hosting a group of 5 team.
Well, that's one game.
Okay, well, wonder if that's Penn State is a 5 seed hosting a group of 5.
They'll sell it out.
I'm not sure they will.
I think they will.
You're out of your mind in the college football playoff.
We'll see. Just mark my words.
Penn State sells out a game against Minnesota. Why would they not sell out a playoff game?
On our already planned Saturday. This will be an unplanned
How many NFL
Saturday.
Teams don't sell out their playoff
It's not a pregnancy, Jim. Unplanned doesn't matter as much.
Different scenario.
Wait, why is it different though?
It's just different.
I don't understand why it's just different. Back.
And by again, NFL stadiums about 30,000 seats smaller.
Okay.
Third down.
No, this is just second down, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you asked the question.
It's second down, yeah.
Second down. Birthdays, Brown.
Oh, we're already there.
Zach Edey, who obviously didn't show out well at the Combine, is 22 years old today.
Lost an inch.
Ultimately, I'll sell him one. Ultimately, better professional career, Zach Edey or Mark Sears?
You know, it's just a wild question to consider because of Edie's size and his dominance on the college game, though Sears at times was dominant.
Sears lost an inch, too, in his measurement.
Yeah, what is his official?
5'10".
5'10"? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm willing to say, Edie, there are a lot of 7-foot guys. I don't think there are any under 6-foot guys in the league, are there?
I saw the other day in the chat. I'm
say.
gonna trust them. The chat said if Mark Sears makes the roster after yesterday's measurement, he'd be the shortest guy currently in the NBA.
Yeah, he would be.
I remember talking to someone last year about Jelly Walker. It was an NBA scout, and I said, "Where have you watched Jelly Walker?" He goes, "Yeah, I like his game." I said, "Where is his spot in pro ball?" They said, "Well, he's not 6 foot, so it's not in the NBA." I was like, "Wow!" And he goes, "You do realize how many under 6 foot guys are in the NBA right now, don't you?" And I was like, "No." And I think at the time there were 0. Now, there were maybe some G League guys that bounced up or down.
I just don't know why that is such a in-stone rule.
I don't either. But, boy, I can tell you from talking to an NBA scout, well, because guards are 6'4".
But if you would have asked me last year, better player, Walker or Sears, I probably would have said Jelly Walker. Now, I would take that back now.
Oh, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were probably right last year.
Third down.
So did anybody answer that?
I would go Edie.
I don't know where we are.
Yeah, I'd go Edie. Just because Sears
I would
under
go Edie too, because Edie's going to get at least that first contract.
And Sears under 6 foot is just, I mean, that's way against the odds.
Edie will get a shot, but I'd much rather go to dinner with Sears.
Okay.
All right. That's interesting.
Hey, you can do it.
Okay.
Third down.
So this one drive, we've had 2 turnovers, which is impossible.
A lot of penalties, right?
I'm going to wait.
Okay. Gronk is 35 years old today. Dude has lived a life in 35 years.
I'd had him at 40.
Yeah.
But hear me out on this one.
All right.
Ultimately, better career, Gronk or any of the 6 quarterbacks that were taken in the first 12 picks a couple of weeks ago?
Just counting on the field or off the field popularity?
I'm talking about everything.
All inclusive. Gronk's not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he is.
Gronk's a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes.
One of the greatest tight ends of all time.
So when the 5 years
you can make
expire,
the argument. It's. I mean, a lot of people would say Gronk's best tight end ever.
Then I'm going to go Gronk. I mean, I don't. Are you going to guarantee me any of those other 5 are in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Or 6 or whatever?
I agree with you. I'll go Gronk, and I really do think he has a shelf life as a broadcaster and/or character doing something. He could be this generation's Terry Bradshaw.
And I know I'm sounded dumb saying Gronk's not Hall of Fame. How many tight ends, and I know it's a different position now, but how many tight ends are in the Hall of Fame? There aren't many, are there?
Many.
Tony Gonzalez.
But like Mike Ditka, I don't know if he's there more for the player when he was a tight end.
But it's going to be different moving forward because the tight end is so different in today's game that they're going to be viewed like a wide receiver, which, by the way, it's not easy for wide receivers to get in the Hall of Fame.
Like a borderline Hall of Fame guy would be Kittle, right?
Really?
Like if he could stay healthy all the time, I think he is there. I mean, I would say active tight ends that are 100% in or Kelsey. I don't know.
I thought Kittle would be next.
Yeah, I mean Kittle would be next, but I don't know if he's 100% in. I would lean that he's in.
There are
Brock Bowers apparently.
Yeah,
according to Nick Saban. What does he know about football?
Antonio Gates should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's eligible yet.
I don't know. I was trying to do it based on. I can look at this based on position and tell you, but for some reason it disappeared. Oh, there it is. Player position. Tight ends. By the way they list a tight end, there are 9 in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Where does Ozzie Newsome land on that list?
Well, I think he would definitely be a tight end. I can just read them to you. Dave Casper, Mike Ditka, Tony Gonzalez, John Mackey, Ozzie Newsome, Charlie Sanders, Shannon Sharp, Jackie Smith, Kellen Winslow. So basically modern-day football. Our lifetime, Shannon Sharp and Tony Gonzalez are the tight ends that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Ozzie Newsome, my lifetime.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, Ditka played forever ago. John Mackey forever ago. I mean, those guys, it took them a long time to get in.
Yep. Fourth down?
Fourth down. Right
Fourth down.
Love to make this one a poll question, too. Mark Zuckerberg is 40 today.
Oh, are you kidding me? Only 40?
George Lucas is 80.
Better career?
Ultimately, better career.
Who dies first?
I think that's going to be George Lucas.
Yeah, I'll go George Lucas. So George Lucas did Star Wars.
Indiana Jones.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, a very good movie.
But he changed filmmaking altogether when he did Star Wars in '77. And look, I mean, to me, once you have $1 billion, it's really difficult to spend $1 billion. The numbers aren't going to be close. I looked at it this morning. Zuckerberg's worth $167 billion.
Yeah. He sold Disney for like $4 billion, I think. All Star Wars is sold to Disney.
But Lucas is worth almost $6 billion.
Oh, I would imagine.
I mean, if you tell me I had to have $6 billion or $127 billion, it's all the same.
Listen,
Yeah,
I would go
I can't count any of
Zuckerberg.
it.
I'd go Zuckerberg here if he would just clean up that hack account that is using my name and all the
Crypto.
all
You're
the
not
crypto
selling that
stuff.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm going to go George Lucas just because I think. I mean, what's bigger, the Star
I don't
Wars
know.
universe or
What
Facebook?
do you think?
Not Facebook. Yeah, it's
Facebook.
Yeah.
What do you think has impacted society more, Facebook or Star Wars? I'd definitely say Facebook.
I think Facebook has.
Yeah.
I would say Star Wars.
I've seen
Impacted society?
I've seen 3 Star Wars movies. I've never been on Facebook.
I would say though.
Okay, so Lance is one.
No,
One of
I'm just saying,
1.5
I
billion
think
people.
there's quite a few people that have never been to Facebook.
I've never seen all the Star Wars movies, though.
But you've
so-
seen at least one, right?
But you're aware
Not all
of
the
it.
way through.
But little T, maybe Rockstar outside of the United States is Facebook not the most popular social media network?
He also has Instagram now, too. They
Yeah.
absorbed
But
that.
he didn't start that.
No.
I mean, I'm giving him credit for starting Facebook.
I got a lot of hot girls in bikinis that are like with wingdings as their font for their name. They want to be my friend.
I think we forget how big the Indiana Jones universe is too, right?
Yeah, no, I've
Well,
seen
they
all
killed it.
those.
The past 2, they just killed it. Let it go. Stop.
Yeah, I've seen
I
all
didn't
those.
see those.
Yeah,
But you
I've
didn't see
seen
the
them.
past 2, did you?
What are the past 2? Which give me
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Who
and
was in that?
Harrison Ford and Dial of Destiny. Shia LaBeouf was in the first one.
Yeah, I might have. I saw the original 3. Is that right? The one with Sean Connery.
The one you probably last one you saw
No,
was
one
Last
with the
Crusade.
over-the-top Japanese kid. Short Round and
Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I saw all those.
I tried all 3, all at church lock-ins, I think.
Well, I tell you what, I saw some Star Wars something at a church lock-in once. It was a bunch of Ewoks. Which one is that one?
That's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the Ewoks, it lasted forever.
But
My
they
gosh.
reclassified all this stuff. Star Wars should be Star Wars. It shouldn't be like Volume 1.
Yeah.
Whatever
make money,
bullshit
man.
they're trying to say.
George Lucas did American Graffiti. I never
He
knew
did.
that.
That was his first film.
How about that? Pretty
Yeah.
good. Pretty good one to come out of the gate with. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Slice. 4 downs today. We're in that window. 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, stop in, get you a slice and a salad today. Local pizza, local ingredients, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers continue to celebrate his legacy. Get in, see Jason Chris, one of those 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
And if you will, LT, tell us about New York Butcher Shop as well. A lot of people went by there and got a Mother's Day meal prepared already. If I wanted a big sandwich that was almost too big to eat today for lunch, where would I go?
You would go to New York Butcher Shop. Like I've said this before, you are the top eater when you really want to on the show.
Yep.
I think Brown is number 2. Have you guys ever finished one of these deli sandwiches from the New York Butcher Shop?
I bet Jim has, but
I have and had meat sweats.
Oh. But I mean, the cool thing is like you can do a lunch date with girlfriend or wife, split that sandwich.
Or both.
Or eat half the sandwich and take the other half home. Those huge deli sandwiches, incredible. Don't forget about catering options for your next business lunch meeting. They've got a great selection of fine wines and desserts. 2 locations for you. The New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. Get in, see Jim and all the fine folks. The original location in Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, The rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Still in the store, if you want to get 30% off, the code is Brown30. Brown30. Do it like it's a football call, Rockstar.
Who you want?
Make it Aaron Rodgers.
Brown30!
He does that to kind of throw you off.
What about Patrick?
He gets more people to jump off than anybody.
Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, I don't know how Patrick. I'm trying to remember. What does he do?
Wide 80! Wide 80!
Yeah, but I need it to be Brown 30. Brown 30 is the code. You get 30% off right now of most things in our store. Go check it out, nextround.store. One of those that are purchased either Friday, Monday, or today could be the destination that Ryan Brown will actually deliver in person. So
Correct.
go by right now, nextround.store. Show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. And I got one or two things quickly before you get to trash. So tell us about
I think
Hemp
Brown
Hill.
is going to Verbena, Alabama.
Verbena!
Yeah, it's only an hour away.
No, that's not too bad.
I think he's going to Dadeville.
229-2090. That is the number you need to call. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you since 1954. The name Birmingham is trusted. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
First off, humble brag on Instagram yesterday from the Birmingham Stallions. We talked about their win. I didn't mention the actual historic moment, but they sent it out on Instagram yesterday. How about this as a flex? It's been 365 days since Birmingham last lost. That's a calendar year, boys. Big flex from the Stallions there. All over the football world there. It's pretty impressive from the Stallions. They're back home coming up this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, theufl.com for tickets, theufl.com for
750,000-ish viewers for the Birmingham-St. Louis game. This was, a good number for them is around 1 million. It was the most viewed game this past weekend, but still a little bit off what they would, I think, want for what was the biggest game of the season this year.
Yeah, biggest game in that league. They hope it's the championship game at some point. Also, Little T, come here. Little T, come here.
Little T,
boy, you worked the hell out of her.
No. I'm just saying that Little T.
You got that graphic?
Little T, hop on LT's mic.
Okay.
Hop on LT's mic and share with us the football trivia knowledge you gave us earlier. Your birthday is on what day this year?
Oh, November 30th.
And what happens that day?
The Iron Bowl.
Last time your birthday was on the Iron Bowl?
The Cake 6.
How about that for a little history for you?
Yeah. So some fun facts.
Yeah, fun fact. Last time her birthday was on Iron Bowl Saturday was the Kick 6.
My takeaway was this. How old did you turn that day?
I'm pretty sure it was 13.
I mean, that is just
13.
I think. That could be wrong.
It's a kick to the midsection.
You had not even had your first goal as Vestavia's all-time leading scorer.
Quick, what year were you born, and I can tell you?
1999.
Okay, so you would have been 14,
right?
Technically.
I don't know. I can't do math right now.
That was 2013, right?
I miss
Yes, it was.
So I would have been turning. I don't know.
I miss being young, but I didn't care about age.
I know.
I was like, yeah.
How old are you now, little T? 24?
Yeah, I turned 25 this year.
25, okay.
Yeah.
And then I only have 1 year left on my insurance, which is the only thing I care about.
Yes. You have been counting that down for about a year now.
You get this double down insurance up here now.
Wow, quarter of a century old pretty soon.
I know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, some of us are approaching a century old.
Yeah. Again, I'd love to go back to 35. I don't think I'd go back to 25.
28 is where I want to go.
If you could go back to 28, how many tattoos do you think you get in the next decade?
Oh, my God. It's on the abs. I'd start just putting them on my abs because I'd have abs again.
The tattoo of abs.
No, you still have to work out, by the way, if you go back to your 20s.
Apparently you don't. I mean, there are people that take pills now, Ozempic and all that. I mean,
crazy.
I can just tell now who's on Ozempic and not.
Oh, no, you can't.
Oh, I can.
What, because they're skinny fat?
I'm just telling you, I can
and
tell.
what is the deal? Why are people not admitting it? I'm just exercising more and eating better. Like a lot of people, like Kelly Clarkson's getting flack because she said she was just walking out. He's coming out. She said, "Well, I'm taking something. It's not Ozempic, but it's like it."
That's right.
So people want to admit, like, I'm doing the lazy route.
What is it?
Fine.
No.
Say it.
Barkley.
Like, if you want to starve yourself, you want to work out, you want to do Ozempic, or whatever.
I don't
whatever
really
works
care.
for you.
I don't care one way or the other.
There's something about the way your face looks.
It's called Ozempic face.
Ozempic face. It's sort of sunken in. Yeah.
Like you just look, it's a different looking face.
Yeah. I'll show you an example.
Well, my daughter has told me, and
is
this
it going to be on Instagram?
It is on Instagram. Yeah.
My daughter has told me.
Critique so many guys on.
Oh, I know.
It's a girl.
That this is a epidemic among college females specifically.
Oh, I think it's
that don't need to. Well, no, the epidemic with the college girls is
they don't need to lose that weight.
There's no way they would ever be prescribed to be on it, and they're turning to it to try to keep some sort of image that's not a realistic image, that is basically a social media image, and that is so incredibly sad.
This show
really
only
is.
lasted 5 seasons, but they're coming back. They're teaming up again. But if you think back, it was a pretty cutting edge show. Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie are going to be part of a new reality show. No details on what the show will be, but
there's no way A Simple Life made it 5 years.
2003 to 2007, 5 years. 3, 4,
remember
5, 6, and 7.
Watching the first episode and laughing some, and then watching the second episode like, this is the same show again. I mean, they're going to do this week after week after week, and they did, I guess, for 5 years. Because I punched out after that.
I remember them working in a fast food kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember them waiting tables. I remember them at a farm.
I remember them on a farm. I think I saw one episode.
Yeah, the farm was the one I saw. I assume that was the first episode.
That may have been the first episode, working on a farm.
Yeah.
And Paris having to milk the cow.
That was the funny part, yeah.
Looked very natural.
Yeah.
Hey, is that true? Is Ozempic $1,300 a month?
I have no idea. Well, I mean,
I think it's like Rogaine. You can't stop. Once you stop, you're just going to
supply and demand, and apparently there's a heck of a demand right now.
Yeah, there's something not Ozempic, because Ozempic's important for people with diabetes, right?
That's what it was started for.
Yeah.
They found out, like, man, that's like curbing your appetite, and people are losing weight.
Yeah. There is a spinoff of that doesn't impact the folks with diabetes.
I don't think you're supposed to drink while you're on Ozempic. And
Oh,
I know
really?
somebody that had
No
like
alcohol?
30 beers this past weekend that's on it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me reset. It's not who went with me to the beach.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's a roll
immediately
of the
who I
dice.
thought.
Yeah. But it's somebody else that you guys know.
Roll of the dice. All right. Let's get to trash. It is brought to you by Mortgage Right. Rockstar, hit the big button.
Another time I was watching a TikTok about Beyonce and someone in the comments said, when's her birthday? Google it! Google it, Google it, Google it, Google it, Google it. Google is free, Google it. What the asking us for? By the time someone responded to you, you could have been Googled it.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Quick tease. I'm going to remind you guys we've got a couple of hangover stories. One of those, how a dude was married to another dude for 12 days without knowing he was a dude.
12 days or 12 years?
12 days.
12 days.
Well, if it's 12 years.
Here are delightful idioms from around the world. Now, idioms are by definition non-literal, but native speakers of a language rarely think about how nonsensical these sayings can be sometimes. For instance, using the cat's pajamas, phrase popularized by flappers during the Roaring 20s to describe something as amazing, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Here's one in Mandarin for you. Take your pants off to fart.
Oh.
Say it all the time at my house.
It's a way to describe someone doing something pointless over the top. In the whale's ass is Italian.
Wow.
That is a tough,
I didn't even know they had one.
That's a tough spot.
Comparable to saying break a leg in English to wish someone good luck. I'm going to start saying in the whale's ass. You got to return it by saying Sirameo che nakajea.
In the walrus's scrotum.
It's let's hope it doesn't shit.
Oh.
Otherwise, it's bad luck.
I would agree.
That's good luck. I'm released if it does.
That's true. You're out.
Don't push granny into the nettles. This is French. It means don't exaggerate or don't push it.
Don't push granny in the nettles.
I love this one. Lid shut, monkey dead. It's German.
That means the conversation is over.
Yeah,
the lid is shut. The monkey is dead. Shut up and move on.
End of story.
That's right.
Lid shut, monkey dead.
That's
We
right.
got to have
Move on.
more of that right here on this platform.
Wow.
And then finally,
Wow. Is that on Dunaway? Was that a shot
no,
at
I'm just
Dunaway?
saying, like when you're done with your point.
Yeah,
you
like-
want to put that exclamation on it.
I'm going to say it one day. Dunaway, you can keep asking me about this, but the lid shut, the monkey's dead. All right?
And then finally, a handful of shit is better than a handful of fart. This is Thai. And it's being content with what you have and not risking it for more.
I got to say.
That's what
was in
Woody
the
and
other
Demi
hand?
should have done before they went to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm just saying that gets a little wordy there. It seems like it's easier to just say it the way you said it to define it.
Kind of agree.
Okay. A woman has been found living in the rooftop sign of a family fair grocery store in Michigan.
Have you seen the photos?
She's been there a year.
Have you seen the photos?
I have not.
I have
can
seen the
only
photos, and
imagine.
Rockstar's got them.
She's living in the rooftop?
Yes. Well,
In
you'll
the-
see in a second.
Up in the basically the
All right, see in the little triangle right there?
Yeah.
That's where she's living.
So police in Midland were notified about the woman living in the small space that hosts a supermarket sign on April 23rd after contractors working on the roof found her there. Woman had flooring, which is very important. She had a computer, a desk, printer. She had a Keurig and a pantry of food in the space. Now, she lives above a supermarket.
know.
Why would she not?
I know. All the food you want.
Said her space was 10 to 15 feet long, 5 feet wide, approximately 8 feet tall, as highest point. The woman, who police are not identifying, left without incident. Police found that she had been living in the space approximately 1 year. It's not clear how she was getting up onto the roof.
A whole year.
Yeah, a whole year. I've seen inside of it,
There's
too.
a little door in the back.
Yeah.
Like it's this tiny triangle. And there's like a little seat in there, and you can see like she has a Keurig and something on top of
Bed.
that.
She's got a bed in there. I mean, she put
Clothes.
everything in there but a shower. I guess she showered at a local gym or something. Maybe she had a gym membership so she could shower.
So we don't get a picture of the girl, though, right?
I've not seen her.
They have not released a picture of that girl.
I bet it looks like, what was the movie Nicole Kidman became an undercover cop and started doing all the crack?
Oh, choose rough look. Oh, what was the name of that?
I bet that's what she looks like. It was actually a really good performance. I thought the movie was a little overrated.
Somebody said she was going to get nominated for Best Actress for it, and it didn't happen.
They should have for looking that bad.
Pretty creative though.
Florida man was arrested earlier this week after biting a chunk out of a deputy's head at an EDM festival on Sunday. Sheriff's office said on Facebook one of his deputies was on foot patrol at the Soul Fest 2024 musical and arts festival in Ponce de Leon, Florida on Sunday night when he was approached by James Michael Anderson. Anderson, a volunteer at the festival location, allegedly high on multiple drugs, including, you guys keep up with this, PCP, LSD, ketamine, mushrooms, and ecstasy. Sounds quite the cocktail there.
I'm telling
and
you.
Baja Blast. Also, the Sheriff's Department released a photo of the deputy's head. It's very graphic. It is super like it is a chunk at the top of his head, like a
And this
chunk.
guy bit it out.
Down to you can almost see the scalp and skull.
It's bad.
Yikes.
So if Hurley had a brother in prison from Lost.
Yeah.
So Anderson allegedly attacked a deputy who has not been identified, tried to grab his gun. During the assault, Anderson bit a chunk out of the deputy's head. Deputy attempted to taser Anderson, who was combative, until several other deputies stepped in to restrain him. Well, I bet they beat the hell out of him.
Or if Jason Kelsey got stung by 1,000 bees.
Yeah, maybe. I can
And
see
got
that.
Hurley's hair.
I was going to say Fat Reg.
Flavor Flav has stepped forward to help the U.S. team as it undergoes for an unprecedented fourth consecutive gold medal at the Paris Olympics this summer, finalizing a deal that will make him a USA water polo sponsor and the official hype man for the program, seeking a bigger spotlight. 65-year-old Flav.
Are those his real teeth, you think?
Wait, those are those are bought tomorrow. So, like, damn.
I didn't know we were this good in water polo. Did you? It's 4 straight. We're
I had
going
no
for it.
idea.
Yeah.
That's why they got Flavor Flav, man.
I'm
They
telling you.
bring out awareness.
No, I now know.
It's hot in here.
I remember watching an episode of Wife Swap like 15, 20 years ago.
Yep.
And
Brigitte
I think they sent Flavor Flav to, I think it was Dee Snider's wife. I think,
where did
and D.
D go?
Snyder to Flava Flav.
Oh, man. Well, 'cause
But
he was
Flava
with-
Flav didn't want to do anything. He's like, I'm going bowling with my friends. She's like, you got things you got to do today. He's like, no, I don't.
No, Flavor Flav.
That's where you're wrong. Yep.
You see what time it is? It's flavor time.
Right. So a legislative starting paper has been filed by the city's local government in Milan. And if passed, no more late night ice cream. Covering 12 districts, proposal would ban all takeaway food, including pizza and drink after midnight, in an effort to clamp down on noisy groups crowding the streets of the Italian city.
She is getting after that going.
Do you start at the bottom like that?
No.
All I'm telling you is
She
find you somebody that loves you like she loves
I was
ice
gonna say,
cream.
just Photoshop something, please.
Yeah.
So proposal would be effective from mid-May and last until November. It would kick in 12:30 a.m. on weekdays, 1:30 a.m. on weekends and public holidays, applying to outdoor tables only in an effort to clear the streets. There's a lot of places that have like no noise ordinance. They got to shut down early. Like if you go anywhere on 30A, I mean, there's...
Well, yeah, but like, what am I expecting if I'm on Bourbon Street and I'm like, guys, it's just too loud around midnight.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You moved here, like you know what you're getting.
So they think not selling ice cream is
They
going to
think
help?
it's going to deter people from going out to the bars. Let's go
Gotcha.
get
Yeah,
a
a lot
pizza
of,
or ice cream.
congregating,
Yeah.
people on the streets,
That's just
eating late night afterwards.
I mean, it's a fun time when you're at an ice cream shop. You ever been at an ice cream shop where you weren't having fun?
Have you ever been in one at 1 in the morning, though?
Not that I can remember, no. It does seem a bit late.
So, model known for having the world's biggest cheeks has sent people into pandemonium after revealing her fresh-faced look at 26 years old.
So this is the after, because
Well,
there are
first
no
off,
cheeks.
this is the before. Now,
Whoa, this is the
She's
before?
got the biggest cheeks.
No, this is before.
This is before. She
looks normal.
Yeah, she's done some injections. She was not. She said she had a mousy face. So do you think
she did have a bit of a mousy
Anastasia,
face.
she's 36 now, so this is 10 years ago when she was 26.
Okay.
By the way, she looks older than 26.
She has spent $1,700
That's
on
not a lot.
facial injections on herself. Now, the before pictures were taken nearly 10 years ago, paired with the recent pictures after she described herself as a, quote, mouse-like figure. I think she looks about 26 to 30 in that picture.
There is nothing wrong with her right there.
There's nothing wrong with
Well,
her.
do you think it's going to be an improvement or not?
Well, I know because it's trash. This is going to be disastrous.
All right, you ready?
I mean, I would put a different color lipstick on, but other than that, she looks
you'll
fine.
see it.
Oh, no.
She did not. That's
That's
not
for real.
real.
No.
That's not real.
Oh,
can't
that
be
is
real.
horrific.
That can't be real.
You don't
Poor
like that?
girl.
Oh.
It looks like she's wearing a mask.
That can't be
It
real.
really does. I'm with Dunaway. I just, how can we verify this?
That's got to be photoshopped.
I can't even
over
look.
her real
Yeah,
head.
that's tough.
Can't look.
That can't be her.
She doesn't carry any weight on her face, I'll tell you that.
Boy, I tell you, man.
neck.
It's extensive jawline.
Yeah, I just think that's Photoshop Rockstar because that's too much neck. If we go back to the other picture, yeah, her necks aren't not that long at all.
Well, but I mean, they've
Damn,
taken.
can you imagine her coming to her 10-year high school reunion?
Yeah, who is this?
What are you?
Who are you married to?
Yeah.
Okay, finally, man shocked to learn that his wife of 12 days actually a man. A young Indonesian man recently got the shock of his life after learning that his wife of 12 days actually disguised as a woman. Earlier this week, Indonesian media reported the strange case. 26-year-old man, referred to only by his initials AK, ended up calling the police after finding out the woman he had married 12 days prior turned out to be a man in disguise.
I like that he called the police.
Yeah.
Man allegedly. What's your emergency?
911. What's your emergency? Oh, do I have a story for you?
I'm being held up.
Who are you talking to? Nobody.
Now, you guys tell me if any of this sounds shaky.
Okay.
The man allegedly met his bride-to-be on the internet. After hitting it off, the two decided to meet in person. Woman who introduced herself as random name.
I'm Steve.
Would always try to conceal her face using a veil or a hijab.
That's the problem.
Man didn't really think anything of it. If anything, her shyness intrigued him even more, so it didn't take him long to pop the big question. In the end, two lovebirds decided on a discreet ceremony. However, even after the marriage, a woman constantly hid her face, even from her new husband, refused to socialize with his family and friends in his own village, and constantly got out of his attempts to consummate the marriage. Family finally decided to investigate his new wife, discovered that her father was still around. It was he who revealed that she was really a man.
Hey, come here for a second. I want to talk to you while she's in the bathroom.
Hey, I was just so you know, I was standing next to your wife in the restroom.
Yeah.
Standing being a key word of that sentence.
Well, no wonder. Full picture here for us.
Yeah.
No wonder. I mean, this guy obviously has bad eyes. I mean,
Well, they're blurry, Jim.
I know. What a bad job of disguising his.
I know.
They've done a great job of the person who committed the fraud to disguise that person. They basically blurred his two eyes, I could pick him out of a lineup 18 times.
I've never met the guy, and I could find him on the street.
I mean, if
Sorry,
you
dude.
can peg somebody on Ozempic, you can peg somebody that's got
blurry eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a picture,
Or
and
a
you're going to
third
agree
leg,
with me 100%.
Okay, do we know this person?
Oh, we're not doing it live on the air.
No, but do we know this person?
We do know this
okay,
person.
well, you show me then.
I'm intrigued now.
I am too.
All right.
If I didn't know him, I didn't care.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. I almost joked and said that's 4 downs today just for Rockstar, but that's Trash Today, brought to you by.
If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. And speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. MortgageRight.com for more information. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Can I do the tease?
What tease?
For the next segment.
Yeah, we mentioned Champy's first.
Yeah,
Champy's
please.
Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Never get teased by the possibility of a great lunch or dinner. They always deliver at Champy's, just off the Alabaster exit, on your way to the beach or back from the beach or anywhere in between. It's our friends at champy'schicken.com. Brand, what's coming up in the final segment?
There is a new college basketball coach that has apparently just been hired, according to Jeff Goodman, and it ties back to the history of our show. We're going to bring this full circle. This has a tie in the history of our show. If you've been with us for a long time, you might remember this story, and it has finally come almost full circle. There's your tease.
Okay.
That's coming up next. Do we need another commercial?
Nope, that's it.
On the next round.
Stay with us.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelSonLaserVision.com. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or HemphillServices.com. That's 205-229-2090, HemphillServices.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of NextRoundLive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
The Pac-12 has announced all of their kick times in that commercial break.
The whole season.
Oregon State and Washington State, basically. Yeah, Idaho State game's going to be on CW. The Purdue game's on CW. Colorado State's on CW. UNLV's on CW. Washington State, same way. Sort of sad.
I hope YouTube TV has got access to CW.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, if they carry it locally, it's up to the local CW to carry the game.
I watched some of the ACC games on there this year.
Okay. Yeah, I've just never watched anything outside of sports on YouTube TV.
Odie's before. Here we go. Here's the 2024 home football schedule for CW and Fox. Some of those games slide over to Fox when they choose to carry the game, like Oregon State, Oregon. That's going to probably slide over to Fox.
Boy, that Oregon State-Washington State game means so much. Just means more, right?
Pac-12 championship at that point. I wonder if they'll give out a trophy. All right, tell us, Brown. First of all, Odie's, and then tell us your story, Brown.
Odie's Tavern, 2 locations now. The original in Crestline will be at that one tomorrow night for Odie's Team Trivia. The newest location in Homewood, right there in Edgewood. Stop in, see Will Haver and that incredible staff. Great food from Rodney Davis, including the Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. Stop into one of those 2 great locations today of Odie's Tavern.
Green Bay has a job opening.
And do they not go by Wisconsin Green Bay anymore?
I have no idea. I think they just go by Green Bay now. And Jeff Goodman is reporting that Green Bay is set to hire Doug Gottlieb.
I was wondering if it was going to be Doug Gottlieb.
Is their new head coach.
He's finally getting the shot.
He's finally getting a shot. If you remember the history of our show.
Hard to believe this.
Auburn had a job opening, and Doug came on our show and openly campaigned on the show for the Auburn job.
No.
And then reached out to us privately and was like, I was very serious on the show. I want the Auburn job. Can you guys help me get in touch with Prominent Boosters and Charles Barkley? That was his ask of us. And we were like, oh, Doug, we thought you were kidding. And he's like, no, I want the job. I think I can get the Auburn job and win there.
I think that shows you how much he wants a job.
Yeah, and in case you've forgotten, Auburn did hire a guest of ours. He was a weekly guest of ours at the time. And he is still the head coach at Auburn. They went Bruce Pearl instead of Doug Gottlieb.
But in fairness, before Bruce, I mean, Auburn was looking for something to pull their basketball program up.
Some spark of some sort.
And Bruce Pearl obviously was the perfect answer. Gottlieb would have been a Hail Mary gimmick type hire.
Well, I think Gottlieb is one of those polarizing guys. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I think he's really good on college basketball. He must have saved a lot, though, because what could he be making at Green Bay, Wisconsin?
I don't know. Now, Goodman says he will continue to do his daily radio show on Fox, which seems like a bad choice on his part, but
how do you do that?
I don't know. I don't even know what time he's on Fox. Do you know?
You know, his wife's got to hate the way. So we're in L.A., we're going to move to Green Bay?
Yeah. I don't know how serious a coach – like, I mean, Doug wanted to be taken seriously. Like, I think when Oklahoma State, his alma mater, was open one of those times, he was really publicly campaigning for that one too. But if you're going to keep doing a radio show, you're not a serious basketball coach. You're just not. I mean, there is no way this day and age you can split time like that and have any sort of level of success.
And Coach K did a weekly show podcast-like thing at the end of his career.
But
like
you
a
can't
Sunday night on XM or something.
Do this and be completely committed to that program. I would assume the way he sells it to them is it's going to be great exposure for your program. I'm doing a nationally syndicated show. I would assume the way he sold it to his wife is we're still going to have this income.
That's right. Nothing changes if I get fired.
I bet she doesn't come to Green Bay with him.
Wow.
I didn't even know he was married.
Yeah. I mean, he could be divorced now. I really don't know. But I would assume if I'm her, I'm like, you know what? You're going to be coaching basketball. It's going to be cold up there. We're going to stay here.
Yeah. So Doug Gottlieb finally getting that college job that he has been campaigning for a very long time, starting with Auburn on our show.
It's so crazy that if they had hired Doug Gottlieb, then Bruce Pearl would have been available for Alabama probably the next year. And where would Nate Oates be right now?
He would not be at Buffalo, but I don't think he'd be at Alabama.
Yeah, Nate Oates could be at Auburn because Gottlieb wouldn't be.
Maybe at Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a lot of places. Nate Oates could be
He could still be at Buffalo.
Yeah, he wouldn't be at Buffalo. I can tell you that.
Funny how the universe lines it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think about Gottlieb thinking he had a shot when Auburn hired Bruce Pearl, but he did. I mean, to your point, though, it's so easy to forget how bad a job that was when Bruce Pearl took it over.
Yeah, you don't even think that way anymore.
No, but Tony Barbie was a nothing hire for Auburn. That it never moved the needle at all. That program, the only thing they had going for them was, it's a nice new arena.
Well, they tried to go blue blood assistants, right?
Right.
They tried to go Tony Barbie, Cal guy. Was he a Cal guy?
Yep.
And they tried to go Jeff Lebo, who was a North Carolina guy.
The North Carolina protege. But Lebo was at least at Chattanooga. He had coached a mid-major.
Yeah. They finally got their guy. They finally got the guy who wasn't trying to be like somebody else, just being himself, and it worked.
Yeah, I think for those other guys, tough to take over a program like that, especially, Tony Barbie was just a disaster.
Yeah.
I think Lebo was okay. Didn't they get to a couple of NITs?
Yeah.
Forster says Lebo wasn't awful. Barbie was a disaster.
Yeah, Lebo was not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Cliff Ellis had his moments, obviously.
Number one.
Yeah, had him a top seed.
Yep.
But
and
it's
cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, but I mean, by and large, it was just a terrible program. And so much so that Doug Gottlieb thought he could come off the couch and be the head coach of an SEC program.
Better chance he's at Green Bay for 2 years and gets back into or gets out of coaching, or he gets another job from Green Bay.
I bet he's not successful and does not get another job from Green Bay.
I would agree with Jim on this one. I think Green Bay's the last coaching job he'll have.
Yeah, unfortunately. If you would have told me that he was 100% committed to this without the radio show, maybe.
That's the most bizarre part, is that he's going to keep doing his radio show.
We talked about 11 o'clock kicks earlier, the big noon kickoff announcing a couple of games, Texas and Michigan, that big game going in week 2, I believe, and then week 3 is Alabama at Wisconsin. Both of those are 11 o'clock kicks. And then Brownie gave us a list of other games that are on ESPN involving SEC teams. That includes Western Kentucky and Alabama in the opener. And here's the list you get there. That Western Kentucky-Alabama game, officially 6 o'clock, Bryant-Denny Stadium on Maine, ESPN for that one. Some of the highlights you get there, Brownie, includes Clemson and Georgia, straight out of game day, but on ABC, over at Mercedes-Benz, neutral site game, going at 11 a.m. in the morning. Miami and Florida that day, and then Notre Dame and Texas A&M on that triple header. Actually,
that's
triple
a
header.
great ABC triple header.
Oh, yeah. I think
that.
4 marquee games that weekend and, 6, 7 good games.
USC-LSU game on Sunday out in Vegas, which will be on ABC as well, going at 6:30 on that Sunday. That's always a great TV night.
But the fact that your ESPN, the two we know, are Colorado State at Texas, followed by Western Kentucky at Alabama, shows you how light that Week 1 schedule is. Those are your main ESPN games for Week 1.
Yeah. So those are some Week 1 times. We're told that we're going to get a lot of kick times for the entire season, unlike waiting and finding out 7 days in advance on when your team plays the next week. We're told with the new TV contract we will get a lot of TV times for the entire season, maybe before summer is even halfway over.
I like that.
We'll find out. That's our show today. Don't forget all the great podcasts and stuff we have going on up here, including Roll Tide Pods with Mick and Jake over there, War Damn Pods with Brad and Zach, of course, Uncorked with Taylor Korn, The Pennant Grace with Emily Grace McWhorter and Josh Ush, and The Meltdown live at 2 o'clock Central with Lunsford and Melton, Tyler and Rockstar too. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.